हमें भी एक मौका मिला कि हम उस सिलसिले में कुछ कर सकें। उस वक्त पाकिस्तान आर्मी अपनी बैटलफील्ड कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम को अपग्रेड कर रही थी, तो हमें एक अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमने उसमें काम किया, मेहनत की, काफ़ी चैलेंजेस आए उसके अंदर, आसान नहीं था, 3-4 साल लगे अपनी प्रोडक्ट को प्रूफ कराने में सिर्फ हमें, लेकिन करते हुए कि उसमें हमने मतलब फील्ड टेलीफोन एक्सचेंजेस हमारे बनने पाकिस्तान में स्टार्ट हो गए। और उसके बाद जब स्टार्ट हुआ तो उसके बाद एक आर्मी की एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, आजकल काफ़ी नाम भी उसका आ रहा है, NRTC, नेशनल रेडियो टेलीकॉम कॉरपोरेशन, उनके साथ हमारा एक जॉइंट वेंचर हो गया। जॉइंट वेंचर ये हुआ कि जी हम डिज़ाइन एंड डेवलपमेंट हम करेंगे, मार्केटिंग एंड कहते हैं प्रोडक्शन उनके पास होगी, लेकिन वो अंडर आवर सुपरविजन होगी। तो वो फिर एक प्रोसेस वहाँ पे स्टार्ट हुआ और उसके बाद हमने उसके 2-4 और वेरिएंट्स बनाए। उसके अलावा और भी कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स हमने NRTC के लिए बनाई और एक्सपोर्ट का भी इसमें हुआ है। ऐसी बात नहीं कि एक्सपोर्ट नहीं हुई है। जो हमारे डिज़ाइन किए हुए फील्ड एक्सचेंजेस थे, ये पाकिस्तान आर्मी तो एक मेन कंज्यूमर्स की बहुत बड़ी थी, लेकिन इसके अलावा सऊदी अरेबियन आर्मी ने भी परचेज़ किए, वो काफ़ी बड़ी तादाद में। बांग्लादेश आर्मी ने लिए, श्रीलंका ने भी मेरे ख्याल है थोड़ा बहुत लिया।
जावेद साहब सॉरी मैं आप थोड़ा इंटरप्ट कर रहा हूँ आपको। जो हमारा मकसद है जो आज का वो ये है कि आपने अपने इस पूरे 40 इयर्स में जो चीज़ भी लर्न की और जिसमें कुछ में आपने रिग्रेट किया होगा, किसी में आप खुश हुए होंगे, तो वो आप टिप्स दे सकते हैं हम लोगों को। क्योंकि इस वक्त ऐसा होता है जब भी कोई शख्स नया बिजनेस करने जाता है तो लोग उसको डिस्करेज करते हैं, फिर एग्जांपल देते हैं, प्रेसिडेंसीज उनके साथ देते हैं कि जी उनको देखो यार उन्होंने मेहनत की थी, क्या वो उनके साथ, आप क्या कहने जा रहे हैं। तो कुछ ऐसी टिप्स दीजिए हमें जो हम लोगों के लिए फ़ायदेमंद हो। मैं भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करने जा रहा हूँ, मेरा दिल चाह रहा है मैं करूँ, और आप बताएं मुझे करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए। क्योंकि आपने वहाँ जाने के बाद वापस आपने रिवर्ट बैक कर लिया आपने।
जी।
तो क्यों किया आपने, वो बताइए, सही किया था या गलत किया था, ये बताइए हमें।
अच्छा, इसमें मतलब कुछ डिसीजंस होते हैं इंसान अपनी ज़िंदगी में करता है। मतलब मेरा जो गलत डिसीजन जो हुआ था कि मतलब वो कहते हैं ना, डोंट पुट ऑल योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट, वो एक गलती हो गई थी। अच्छा, उसमें ये हुआ कि हमने सारा अपना फोकस है ना मिलिट्री के ऊपर ही डाल दिया, मिलिट्री उसके ऊपर ही डाल दिया कि यार इसमें, क्योंकि उसमें एक अच्छा जब तक अच्छा चल रहा था, बहुत अच्छा चल रहा था। अच्छा, बीच में अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ आई कि कमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट्स भी हम ये कर सकते थे, लेकिन उस वक्त ये होता है कि जो मिलिट्री प्रोडक्ट जब आप करते हैं तो उसमें मार्जिन्स है ना बहुत हाई होते हैं, तो कहते हैं यार कमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट क्यों करें इसमें, तो यार ऐसे 20-30% मार्जिन्स हैं। मतलब
ये रिस्ट्रिक्शन थी आपके पास या खुद आपका डिसीजन था?
अपना डिसीजन, हाँ, थोड़ा दिमाग खराब था, मतलब ये समझ लें आप कि यार ये 25-30% वाला काम क्यों कर रहे हैं हम यार, जब आपको मतलब 100% से ज़्यादा अब आपको मार्जिन्स कमा रहे हो। तो वो कुछ गलती हुई, तो वहाँ पे हमने नहीं किया। तो ओवरऑल इट्स के गुड एक्सपीरियंस। लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है कि हर तरह का मतलब आपको ऑप्शंस ओपन रखने चाहिए और मार्केट को बड़ा अच्छा देखना चाहिए कि जी मार्केट है ना, कहते हैं कोई भी प्रोडक्ट अगर आप फर्स्ट करें मार्केट करना चाहते हैं, मतलब बनाना चाहते हैं, तो पहले उसकी मार्केट देखिए, उसकी कंजम्पशन है कि नहीं है, कंपटीशन देखें, ये सारी चीज़ देखना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। और एक बात तो तय हो गई आपकी डिस्कशन से कि एक बास्केट में अपने सारे एग्स रखने नहीं चाहिए, वो भी अगर आर्बिन की बास्केट है तो फिर वो
बहुत खतरनाक है। ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा, फिर डाला बाहर आ जाएगा।
मैं सब डॉक्टर साहब आपसे मेरा
आ जाएंगे मेरे साथ।
अच्छा, जब डॉक्टर अरसलान का मेरे पास नाम आया था तो उस वक्त मैं समझ रहा था यार बहुत ही सीनियर, इनके पिक्चर में भी ये लग रहा है बहुत सीनियर है बहरहाल, तो लेकिन इनकी नॉलेज इतनी है कि इस तरह एक सीनियर की होना चाहिए। डॉक्टर साहब मेरा आपसे एक सवाल ये है कि why the make in Pakistan is the today's need, and do we have local resources and capabilities to do it?
Thank you so much. Actually बड़ा रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चन है। एक्चुअली हमारी जो परसेप्शन की शायद पहले भी बात हुई, हम यही सोचते हैं कि शायद लोकलाइजेशन एंड इंडिजनाइजेशन इज़ अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क एंड वी कैन नॉट डू इट। लेकिन अगर थोड़ी सी हिस्ट्री देखें ना, जो नेशंस की हिस्ट्री है, तो R&D का अभी भी ग्राफ्स और डाटा अवेलेबल है ऑनलाइन, तो आज से 50 साल पहले का डाटा देखें और अब देखें, R&D जिन कंट्रीज़ में है उनकी इकोनॉमीज़ कहाँ पहुँच गई और हम कहाँ हैं। सेकेंडली डिपेंडेंट होना किसी इन्वेस्टमेंट पे अच्छा होता है। हम समझते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी ले ली हमने और उसको यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो इट मीन्स कि वी आर नॉट कैपेबल, लेकिन एक तरह से डिपेंडेंट भी हो रहे हैं हम। तो अल्टीमेटली वही इकोनॉमीज ग्रो की हैं और अपने ब्रांड्स उन्होंने बनाए हैं जिन कंट्रीज़ ने अपनी R&D पे फोकस किया या अपनी प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट पे, इंडिजिनाइजेशन पे फोकस किया। तो ये डाटा अवेलेबल है, आप इसको ज़रूर चेक करिएगा। अच्छा, अब हमें ख्याल आया है कि हमें करनी चाहिए R&D और मेक इन पे जाना चाहिए। अब हम क्यों नहीं कर रहे? नीड तो डेफिनेटली सबको पता है कि करना चाहिए, डॉलर कहाँ पहुँच गया, इम्पोर्ट के क्या इश्यूज हैं, लेकिन इस वक्त हम क्यों डेस्परेट हो रहे हैं? डेस्परेट इसलिए हो रहे हैं कि अब हमारी एज से ज़्यादा हमारी नीड कितने जिंदा रहने के लिए वो इतने नीचे जा चुके हैं अनफॉर्चुनेटली कि वहाँ पे अब हमें हर जगह पे छोटी छोटी चीज़ों पे मुख्तलिफ इंडस्ट्री से इंटरेक्शन होता है। मेडिकल डिवाइसेस की इंडस्ट्री देख लें, इलेक्ट्रिकल की इंडस्ट्री देख लें, मैकेनिकल की, बहुत ही माइन्यूट लेवल की चीज़ें भी इस वक्त इम्पोर्ट हो रही हैं और डिपेंड करता है कि कितना रेवेन्यू हमारा बाहर जा रहा है। फिर जॉब्स के हालात और बहुत सारी ऐसी रीजन है जिसकी वजह से जो है ना हम कर रहे हैं। लेकिन सबसे पहले जो स्टेप लेने की ज़रूरत है ना कि कैसे इसको ठीक किया जाए, दैट इज़ अगेन द परसेप्शन। और जो आपका दूसरा पार्ट था क्वेश्चन का कि रिसोर्सेज क्या हम लोकली हैं अवेलेबल, अब मेरा ख्याल है दो चीज़ें सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं एक बिजनेस में, एक R&D और दूसरा उसकी मार्केटिंग। मार्केटिंग मतलब उसको बेचना, जो ये कंपनी अपनी पाइपलाइन में उसके प्रोडक्ट हैं, R&D में प्रोडक्ट है, वो स्ट्रेंथन होती है कंपनी। और सेकेंडली उसकी मार्केटिंग। अच्छा, हम लोग ना ये दोनों को मिक्स कर देते हैं यूजुअली। हम ये समझते हैं जिसने बनाई है लेट्स से कि वो बेचने में बहुत अच्छा। अभी एग्जांपल आपके सामने मेरा ख्याल आई कि अगर किसी भी कंपनी के साथ अगर वो किया है, जॉइंट वेंचर किया है, तो वो उसकी वो स्ट्रेंथ है, हमारी ये स्ट्रेंथ है, तो वी शुड सिट टुगेदर। तो दैट्स हाउ वी आर सिटिंग राइट नाउ। तो मेरा ख्याल है कि ये स्टेप बहुत अच्छा है जो करना चाहिए बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली, ताकि हमें रिसोर्सेज का पता चले। रिसोर्सेज आर देयर, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स की शक्ल में हो चाहे इक्विपमेंट की शक्ल में हो। जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को मैं रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ कनेक्टेक में एज अ चीफ रीजनल ऑफिसर, मल्टीपल रिसोर्सेज इन मल्टीपल डोमेन्स आर अवेलेबल, बट द डिफरेंट जो गैप है ना वो है एक्चुअली कम्युनिकेशन का, एक्सेस का, अवेलेबिलिटी का और सबसे बड़ा परसेप्शन का। तो रिसोर्सेज आर देयर, हमें सिर्फ उन डॉट्स को कनेक्ट करना है। और अभी सर की बात से ही मैं सेकंड करूंगा, जो आपने भी क्वेश्चन किया था कि हमारी जो सक्सेसेस हैं और अगर जो चैलेंजेस हैं, मेरा ख्याल है उसको ज़्यादा शेयर करना चाहिए। जो लोग उस हार्डशिप दौर से गुजरे हैं उस R&D में या लोकलाइजेशन में या मेक इन पाकिस्तान में, उनको किसी न किसी ऐसे ही फोरम पे डायरेक्टरी की शक्ल में, किसी पब्लिसाइजेशन की शक्ल में, किसी शक्ल में आना चाहिए, सक्सेस स्टोरीज को सेलिब्रेट करना चाहिए और उन चैलेंजेस को उसका रेमेडियल ढूंढना चाहिए, उसको कोई वे आउट निकालना चाहिए एट डिफरेंट लेवल्स। बिकॉज आई हैव वर्क फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरर, फॉर द इम्पोर्टर्स, जब उनके साथ बैठे हैं तो हर किसी के डिफरेंट स्टेक्स है, तो वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट दो स्टेक्स और उसके बाद फिर उसको एड्रेस करना चाहिए।
अच्छा, परसेप्शन की बात अभी उमर ने भी की थी और जो उन्होंने कैटेगोरिकली जो बात बताई वो ये कि हम लोग जो हैं वो मेड इन पाकिस्तान देखना नहीं चाहते हैं, मतलब चाहे वो एज लगा के किसी बाहर के मुल्क का नाम कर देते हैं। आपका परसेप्शन से क्या मुराद थी आपकी इसमें?
परसेप्शन से मुराद ये है कि जब भी हमें कोई जैसे एक इंडिविजुअल की बात करें, जब हम किसी स्टोर पे जाते हैं और हमें कोई कहे चाहिए मेड इन पाकिस्तान है और ये बाहर किया, तो हमारी पहली परसेप्शन माइंड में क्या आती है? अनफॉर्चुनेटली नहीं, लेकिन इसमें एक चीज़ और है सर, जो एज अ मैन्युफैक्चरर अगर मैं बात करूं तो हमारी परसेप्शन ये आती है कि ये सोल्यूशन पाकिस्तान में नहीं मिलेगा। जिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में मैंने बात की थी ये गलत है। और अगर आप ढूंढें तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें पाकिस्तान के अंदर अवेलेबल है। मतलब लेट्स से कि मैं कोई एक ऐसी डायरेक्टरी की जिसमें मुझे ये पता चले कि अच्छा इस स्पेसियल लेवल का या इस लेवल की कैपेबिलिटी या इस तरह के लोग कहाँ मिलेंगे मुझे, तो मेरा ख्याल है हमारे पास इस तरह के प्लेटफॉर्म्स ऐसे नहीं है। मतलब 1-to-1 कनेक्टिविटी में तो बहुत सारी मिल, तो वी एक्चुअली लैक दैट परसेप्शन। ब्रांड की परसेप्शन की बात अलग है, लेकिन हमारी अपनी परसेप्शन फॉर द अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ रिसोर्सेज वो भी नहीं है। तो वी नीड टू एक्चुअली ट्रस्ट on our own people, on our own resources, especially youth की बात हो रही है। एकेडमिक्स के भी माशाल्लाह सर बैठे हुए हैं, वाइस चांसलर है, बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ का, बहुत सारी जगहों का एक्सपीरियंस है। और मेरी रिक्वेस्ट पे कि इलेक्ट्रिक की टीम भी यहाँ पे बैठी हुई है और भी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं। लेट मी टेल यू कि सिर्फ एक गैप दूर करने की देर है। वो परसेप्शन ये कि एकेडमिक्स का बच्चा क्या ये काम नहीं कर सकेगा, ये परसेप्शन ख़त्म करके उस बच्चे को चांस मिले और इंडस्ट्री ये सोचे कि नहीं यार अच्छा मैंने सोल्यूशन पाकिस्तान से ही ढूंढना है। हाँ मेरे पास ऑप्शन है बाहर की, बट आई विल गो एट द लास्ट। बट वो परसेप्शन चेंज करने की जरूरत है। मेरा ख्याल मैंने उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात की थी।
तो अच्छा ये बताइए कि ये जो बातें हमने की हैं अभी तक, तो ये कोई थ्योरेटिकली नहीं है, सिर्फ हमें प्रैक्टिकली हमें क्या करना चाहिए? सिंपली जो देखें, आप नेट भरा हुआ मिलेगा आपको, सोशल मीडिया भरा हुआ मिलेगा, सब एक दूसरे को जगा रहे होते हैं। तुम लोग सो रहे हो, देखो बांग्लादेश जागा हुआ है, तुम लोग सो रहे हो तो नेपाल जाग गया। लेकिन वो जो कहने वाला है वो खुद सो रहा है, मतलब। तो आप मुझे आप नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन में जब आपका नंबर आएगा तो आप प्लीज मुझे ये जरूर बताइएगा हमें करना क्या चाहिए, प्रैक्टिकली हमें क्या करना चाहिए, और वो जो करना है वो प्रैक्टिकल हो, सब लोग उसको फॉलो भी कर सकें। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नेक्स्ट हमारे पैनलिस्ट हैं जनाब मोहम्मद असलम साहब। असलम साहब ने जो काम किया है, वैसे तो आप देखें कि मेड इन पाकिस्तान का कॉन्सेप्ट जो है कुछ चीज़ों में तो हो सकता है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान में जो कि आपके टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री है, वो सब लोग पाकिस्तानी प्रोडक्ट लेते हैं, बाहर भी खरीदते हैं और खुशी खुशी लेते हैं। और यहाँ पर जो फ़ैन बनते हैं, यहाँ जो केबल्स बनती हैं, देयर आर सो मेनी आइटम्स, सो मेनी थिंग्स। तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हमें जो उमर ने हमसे ये बात कही कि जी हमें अपनी क्वालिटी पर फोकस करना चाहिए, और एक दिन उस क्वालिटी को लोग एक्सेप्ट करना शुरू करेंगे। जैसे कि आप देखें गुजरात में बेइंतहा चीज़ें बनती हैं, बेइंतहा बनती हैं, रिसोर्सेज भी मौजूद हैं। मेरा परसेप्शन ये है कि वाकई रिसोर्सेज मौजूद हैं, लेकिन हम इंटरेक्ट नहीं करते एक दूसरे के साथ। हमें कोई डॉक्टर तलाश करना होता है तो हम जाके 10 लोगों से पूछ लेते हैं, अच्छा डॉक्टर कहाँ मिलेगा, ये कहाँ मिलेगा। हमें इसकी तरफ भी आना चाहिए। असलम साहब जो हैं, इन्होंने ये बेसिकली पैनल मैन्युफैक्चरर थे, LV पैनल्स ये बनाते थे, लेकिन साथ साथ इनके दिमाग में ये आया कि ये जो कॉम्पैक्ट बस वेज है, उसमें कुछ लोगों ने उनको यकीनन कहा होगा और इनको टेम्पटेशन दी होगी, लेकिन बात यह कि ये बात तो बहुत से लोगों से कही गई थी, जिसमें मैं भी शामिल हूँ। हमने बहुत से मैन्युफैक्चरर से कहा कि भाई जो हमारी नीड है इस वक्त, जो डिमांड आपकी क्रिएट हो रही है, उस पर क्यों नहीं जाते। तो असलम ने 10 साल पहले, मुझसे छोटे इसलिए मैं असलम साहब बोले, तो असलम 10 साल पहले ये जो स्टार्ट किया अपना, बहुत इनको डिस्करेज किया गया, बहुत इसकी मुश्किलात थी। तो इनका ये सफ़र अब तक का कैसा रहा, क्या हुआ, हम इन्हीं की ज़बानी सुनते हैं। और इसमें असलम साहब देखिए, अगेन हमें वो भी टिप्स चाहिए, सिर्फ आपकी वो नहीं चाहिए हिस्ट्री कि आपने क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम, हमें ये चाहिए कि आपने उन प्रॉब्लम को ओवरकम कैसे किया, कैसे उसको उबूर करके आगे बढ़ गए उन बैरियर्स को। ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी
जी। अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह। बहुत शुक्रिया पहले तो IEEE का शुक्रिया कि जिन्होंने ये हम सबको इकट्ठा किया और मुश्किलात हमारी सुनने के लिए, जैसे असगर सिद्दीकी साहब ने भी बताया कि आपको क्या मुश्किलात आई, क्या मामलात हुए, कैसे आपने स्टार्ट किया, स्टार्टअप कैसे था। तो मैं इम्पोर्टेड बस पे ली, मैंने कोई 15-16 साल पहले किसी एक नाम नहीं मैं लूँगा, ब्रांड था, तो उन्होंने सबसे पहले मुझसे एक फॉर्म भेजा कि यार ये फिल करके दें कि आप ये किसी आर्मी के अदारे में नहीं लगाएंगे, ना एटॉमिक एनर्जी में लगाएंगे, ना किसी और जगह। मेरे पास आज भी वो ऑन रिकॉर्डेड है। तो मेरे दिल में आया, मैं कोई यूरेनियम खरीद रहा हूँ इनसे या क्या चीज़ खरीद, जो मैं इसके ऊपर इनका इतना बड़ा लेटर साइन करके दूँ कि भाई मैं अपनी आर्मी में नहीं दे सकता, एटॉमिक एनर्जी इदारे में नहीं दे सकता, कहाँ पे देना है मुझे। मैंने कहा यार ये क्या रॉकेट साइंस है, क्या है। तो मैंने उसको खोल लिया, एक प्रोडक्ट थी मेरे पास, मुझे शौक पैदा हुआ कि यार इसको किया जाना चाहिए। उस वक्त अगर मैं इसका टोटल पैकेज बनाता कि मैं ये किस तरह इसको लेकर चलूँगा, क्या क्या मुश्किलात आएंगी, तो शायद मैं ये कर ही ना पाता। मेरे दिमाग में सिर्फ ये फिट हो गया कि मुझे अपने पाकिस्तान के लिए कुछ करना है, बस ये एक एम था मेरा, क्योंकि मैं सीखने वालों में से था, मैं सीखने वाले लोगों में से था। मुझे याद है कि मैं डिप्लोमा कर रहा, एसोसिएट इंजीनियरिंग मैंने की इलेक्ट्रिकल में, 92 में पास आउट हुआ मैं। तो मुझे वर्कशॉप में ले गए, नीचे अमीन साहब हमारे एक टेक्निकल थे, वो हेड थे, इंचार्ज थे। तो मैंने कहा यार मुझे आज कुछ सीखना है, नया सीखना है, यहाँ से कैसे सीखूंगा। डीसी मोटर हमने वो पढ़नी थी, तो डीसी मोटर को उन्होंने चेक करवाना था हमें। तो मैंने उसमें से ना चलते चलते ना उसका एक कार्बन निकाला और जेब में डाल लिया पॉकेट में। तो ये मैं शुरू से ही इसी तरह सीखने वालों में से था। अच्छा, मैंने वो पॉकेट में डाल लिया। मैंने सोच रहा था इसको कैसे टेस्ट करते हुए ये आएंगे, ये फॉल्ट कैसे ढूंढेंगे। तो जैसे ही वो उन्होंने कोई आधा घंटा लगाया, एक ओहम मीटर पहले हुआ करते थे MEM के, वो वो सुई वाले मीटर चलते थे, तो उन्होंने मीटर से टेस्ट करते करते उस पर पहुंचे, तो मैंने फटाफट पॉकेट से निकाल के वो दे दिया। उन्होंने बड़े घूर के मुझे देखा, तो मैंने कहा सर मैंने ये देखना था इसको टेस्ट कैसे किया जाता है, अगर फॉल्ट आएगा तो मैं कैसे टेस्ट करूंगा। तो ये मेरे अंदर एक शुरू में अल्लाह की मेहरबानी थी मुझ पे, माँ बाप की दुआएं थी, दोस्तों की दुआएं थी, मेरे में सीखने वाली चीजें थी। तो मैं किसी भी फॉर्म पे आज मैं यहाँ पर आया हूँ तो सीख रहा हूँ। इससे पहले मुझे यहाँ पर लाया गया, मुझे खालिद परवेज साहब बैठे हुए हैं जिन्होंने मुझे धक्का लगाया कि यार तू इधर आ भाई, इधर लगाएगा तो लोगों को पता चलेगा मेक इन पाकिस्तान या मेड इन पाकिस्तान क्या है। मुश्किलात मुझे ये रही, सॉरी मैं अपने टॉपिक से इधर उधर हो जाऊं, स्टोरी वो मुझे कहेंगे कि बाद में कहीं सुना आपको,
मैं कर दूंगा आप।
जी जी। लेकिन मुश्किलात ये रही कि ना तो पूरे पाकिस्तान में कोई अच्छी लैब है हमारे पास जिससे हम अपने कोई भी प्रोडक्ट टेस्ट करवा सकें, ना कोई छोटा सा अदारा। हालांकि मैंने एक बैरियर टाउन के कोई ऑनर थे, मैंने उनको मैसेज भिजवाया, एक मिलने वाले थे उनके जरिए कि यार आप मस्जिद तो इतनी बड़ी बना रहे हैं, सॉरी टू से मैं खुद भी मुसलमान हूँ, सूफी आदमी हूँ, लेकिन मैं मस्जिदों के खिलाफ नहीं हूँ, बट डॉक्टर साहब ने बात की कि इंडस्ट्री को आगे लेके कैसे चलना है, तो उसके लिए हमें R&D सेक्शन बनाने चाहिए। बड़ी मस्जिद तो बना दी 50 लाख लोगों के लिए या 5 लाख लोगों के लिए, लेकिन हमें R&D की एक भी जगह अच्छी नहीं मिलती जहां पर हम आके रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट कर सकें, अपना कोई मटेरियल टेस्ट करवा सकें। मुझे फायर रिटार्डेंट मटेरियल बनवाने थे इंसुलेटर्स के लिए, मुझे पूरे पाकिस्तान में कोई लैब नहीं मिली, मुझे वो बाहर जाना पड़ा। भाई इसके अंदर देखें क्या क्या चीजें हैं, क्या इसमें चेक टेस्टिंग कैसी होगी, चेकिंग कैसी होगी, फायर रिटार्डेंट के ऊपर UL लिस्टेड क्या होगा, क्या क्या चीजें होंगी। मुझे तो सारी टीम ने सिखाया है, सॉरी टू से आप कंसल्टेंट हैं, मुझे सबसे ज्यादा जो सीखने को मिला वो कंसल्टेंट से मिला। मैं जिसके पास प्रोडक्ट लेकर गया, आगे सोचेंगे भाई तेरे पास टेस्ट केड़ा है, मुझे तो अब टेस्ट इस तरह याद हो गए ना कि मेरे अपने टेस्ट हो गए सारे। IC स्टैंडर्ड 61439-6 उसके अंदर कितने टेस्ट हैं। मैं सबसे पहले एक कंसल्टेंट के पास गया तो मैंने प्रोडक्ट रखी टेबल पे, कहता मैं कह नहीं सर पाकिस्तान च बनाई है, और नहीं ऐथे नहीं हो सकता, मैं कह सर पाकिस्तान च बनाई है, कोई ये तेन पता स्टैंडर्ड होंगे ने, मैं कि सर वो की होंगे मैंने लिख के दे दो। उन्होंने 2 महीने लगाए, लिखे ही नहीं। मैंने फिर वो सर्च किया, मेरे पास एक तालिब इल्म पढ़ता था, आज वो एरोनॉटिक इंजीनियरिंग करके आया था मेरे पास UK से, और 1 साल के लिए उसके फादर ने मेरे पास भेज दिया कि यार पाकिस्तान में तो इसको जॉब नहीं मिल रही, इसने ड्रोन शोन बनाने हैं, तो इसको यार तो अपने साथ लगा ले, जब कभी बाहर जाएगा तो फिर जरा साथ चला जाएगा। तो मैंने उस बच्चे को अपने पास रख लिया, और वो इतना नफीस बच्चा था कि उसने एरोनॉटिकल इंजीनियर करके अब वो USA में चला गया होगा। उसने मुझे फिर हेल्प की, मेरे लिए स्टैंडर्ड ढूंढे, तो कहता सर $500 का है, वे स्टैंडर्ड ले लेने, अस्सी ना खरीद लेने, परचेज कर लेने। उन्होंने परचेज किया, उस बच्चे ने स्टैंडर्ड परचेज किया, तो मुझे उस दिन पता चला कि 61439-6 क्या होता है।
सामान बेचने के लिए आपको जाकिर नायक बनना पड़ेगा। अगर आपको आयत नंबर और सूरत नंबर याद नहीं है तो
मेरी टोपी लेके आ जाके जरा मेरी, मैं जाकिर नायक की टोपी पहन लूं सर वो। सॉरी सर, वो पता है क्या है, देखिए मुश्किलात चैलेंजेस ये थे कि अभी से कोई 3 दिन पहले तक हमें लोग पूछ रहे थे यार ताड़े को इंटरनेशनल सर्टिफिकेट आ गया है, असी आज जो उन्होंने स्टॉल ते ले आके दिखाया है कि सर शुक्र डेकरा भी करा लिया है। मैंने अपनी लिटरली अपनी फैक्ट्री को 1 साल आगे ले गया हूं मैं, या 2 साल आगे ले गया हूं। घर मैंने अब आके बनाना शुरू किया है, सिर्फ सारे का सारा पैसा लगाया मेक इन पाकिस्तान पे, मेड इन पाकिस्तान के ऊपर। और ये टेस्ट आप सब पता कर सकते हैं, डेकरा या कैमा से जो लैब से मैंने पूरी रेंज करवा दी है, 250 एम्पेयर से लेकर 5000 एम्पेयर तक की, इस पे कितने पैसे लगे होंगे। और पाकिस्तान में एक रवात लैब है जिसको हमें इंश्योरेंस देनी पड़ी कि आपका इक्विपमेंट हमारे भाई प्रोडक्ट की वजह से खराब नहीं होएगा, इसको शॉर्ट सर्किट टेस्ट कर दें। लिटरली मुझे पूरे पाकिस्तान में आप गाइड कीजिएगा कि यार असलम आप अपनी प्रोडक्ट बनाएं, ये चीज बनाएं और इस अदारे में ला के टेस्ट करवा दें। कोई एक अदारा दिखाइए मुझे, कोई प्लास्टिक का टेस्ट कराना हो, एलर्जी का टेस्ट करवाना हो, आपने किसी सर सिर्फ इधर वो मेडिकल टेस्ट होते हैं, वो भी पता नहीं किस तरह के होते हैं।
चलें, थैंक यू वेरी मच, और आपके पास दोबारा आएंगे
सर।
मैं नहीं मैं आपको बताता हूँ, असल में मसला ये है कि इनको जो है ना, मुझे कंसल्टेंट कहते हुए सॉरी करना पड़ रहा है।
सर देखिए, रक्षान साहब बैठे हुए हैं, मैं रक्षान साहब मेरे साथ प्रोजेक्ट किए हैं जी। मैं इनके पास गया तो इन्होंने कहा, मैं यार मेक इन पाकिस्तान है, मेड इन पाकिस्तान है। मैंने कहा यार फिर मैं तेरे नाल खलो जाना है। सेठ इकबाल के साथ आर्टिस्टिक पे हमने काम किया तो इन्होंने मेरे साथ खड़े हो गए कि भाई मैं दा ग्रंटर रहेगा जी, एनो लान दो जी काम कर। देखिए इस तरह के बहुत सारे नाम है, असगर साहब ने मुझे दिए काम।
हमने एक हदीस में वाकया सुना था कि किसी एक साहबी ने दीवार पे ओपनिंग की थी और उनसे पूछा क्यों किया। उन्होंने कहा जी इसमें हवा, रोशनी के लिए, हवा के लिए। तो आपने कहा अगर तुम्हारी नीयत अजान सुनने की होती है तो हवा और जो है रोशनी तो वैसे ही आ जाती है। तो आपसे भी मैं कह रहा हूँ आपकी मार्केटिंग वैसे ही हो जाएगी
जी। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जी, आप लोगों ने माशाल्लाह, जैसे IEEE बदर एक्सपो वालों ने हमें बड़े चांस
जाएगी। तो आप अपनी मार्केटिंग की फिक्र ना करें, आप जो फायदेमंद बातें वो बताने की कोशिश करें।
बताएं जी, पूछें, आप सवाल पूछेंगे हम बताएंगे जी इंशाल्लाह।
And our primary healthcare system is not built for the CDs and NCDs and not for rather for maternal and child health. So let's move on to Dr. Asif Imam. So in our mixed health system, NGOs and CSOs have been filling up a major gap in the primary healthcare service provision. You, sir, have been the pioneer of utilizing an NGO platform for delivering quality primary healthcare services through the SINA initiative. What are the challenges and the successes for CSOs and NGOs to deliver universal healthcare in Pakistan at national as well as provincial level? Or what innovations or intersectoral collaborations are needed to engage the NGO sectors to achieve these SDGs? And what is the public policy vacuum in engaging the private sector for UHC and primary healthcare?
Thank you very much. My name is Asif Imam. And although I'm an allergy immunology specialist, but my passion is primary healthcare. And actually, I moved from the US to set up a robust system of primary healthcare. So, as we all know, WHO says that 80 to 90% of healthcare needs can be met at the primary healthcare level. And if you look at Pakistan, we're just the opposite. We don't have any primary healthcare system at all. That's where the fundamental problem is. And this is what we need to address, that our foundation is actually not good. We don't have a good primary healthcare. The good news is that PMDC's new leadership, they have actually sort of revolutionized the thought process of what a good primary healthcare system should be. And they are now totally focused on primary healthcare. The leadership has understood that primary healthcare ke baghair kuch nahi hoga. So right now, PMDC is trying to revamp the curriculum in which the training of the graduates, postgraduates, because there was no primary healthcare training post-medical school. Everyone was training in the hospitals. And obviously, as you know, hospital training and the primary healthcare training is very, very different. So now what they're doing is they are mandating each medical college not to just open a hospital, but 5 primary healthcare centers for training of the students and residents. So this is revolutionary. So the trend and the intellectual process has already started. But the problem is that is the first step. So you have to change the curriculum, emphasize on primary healthcare, which will cater to 80 to 90% of healthcare needs in Pakistan. If you look at any effective healthcare system like NHS or the Canadian system, they have a very robust primary healthcare system. And this is where we need to focus and develop. So the SINA story starts in 1998 when I came back from the US and started to understand the primary healthcare system in Pakistan. And obviously it was very obvious that we need to develop a whole system, not just do things in silos, complete system. And we presented our model to the WHO EMRO region in August 2023 as a care model of a primary health care. And it was well received over there. And since that, actually, before we presented it, WHO has actually come up with 10 levers, operational levers of how a primary healthcare system should work. So what we have done is we have taken that 10 levers and we have developed our system according to that. And I think we, out of 9 of us, we can actually claim that we are doing that. So I think the first thing is you need a very robust model or a system with training. The doctors are trained in that system. The second challenge was you can have a nice infrastructure, a nice clinic, and the nurses, but the nurses and the doctors are not trained for primary health care. So we have to revamp the training as well. And this is a very big task. This is something that I think our PMDC is starting to do, but I think even the medical colleges and the residency programs should start doing. So the system is number one. Second is training of the multidisciplinary approach. Like we all said that our system is doctor-driven. It has to be multidisciplinary-driven. The doctor cannot do everything. They need a support team to support and provide the proper care to the patient. So training ke baad, basically it comes on implementation of that system with accountability. So हमारे वहाँ ये होता है कि आप डॉक्टर को आपने या नर्स को आपने एम्प्लॉय कर लिया and then कोई पूछता नहीं है कि उसका परफॉर्मेंस कैसी है. So this is something, accountability has to come. Until accountability comes, don't expect any kind of quality of care. So we have worked on that in our system also. We have started with the audits of the doctor performance, and we have a very robust quality performance audit system for the doctors, and we re-educate them if they have any shortcomings. We train them. That's the third thing. The other thing is this is age of digitization. We need a very robust 360-degree digital platform which will integrate all kinds of care. So we are in the process of developing a multidisciplinary digital platform, especially for primary healthcare, in which the doctor, the nurse, the nutritionist, the physiotherapist, the social worker, the pharmacist will have their own domains in which they can put their documentation of what kind of care they gave to the patient. So we have to move on to the modern technologies. And once we have done that, then we should work together and the standard. The NHS is a national standard. We should, together, institutions and the NGOs and the private sector, they should come up with a national standard of primary health care. And then things are going to start happening. So that's my 2-bit.
Thank you so much, Dr. Asif. So a shift from the doctor-driven current model, accountability, digitization of services, and as we have gone through 4 of our panelists, I think all of them are agreeing that although there's 5 years left till 2030, but the primary health care has huge amounts of lacunae, and we are all aware of it. So we can definitely shift towards device policies to address them. Next, I move on to the primary healthcare systems, the public primary healthcare system specifically, and the maternal and child health services. So, Mr. Javed Jagrani Saab, who is the CEO of the PPHI, you have successfully expanded and improved the PHC network in Sindh, especially for the maternal and child health services. Please, can you share the public partnership model, this particular model, how it has evolved in Sindh, and how do you think that this model can be leveraged in our mixed health system to achieve the primary healthcare and universal healthcare coverage goals?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, as far as PHC is concerned, with the perspective of this PPP mode, basically this public-private partnership, that's maybe if not that much new, but in the recent past, it's a new type of management model which has achieve good results in different sectors. So with this approach, government of Sindh applied this. Initially, federal government, all of the provinces, and then Sindh government, specifically in Sindh province, they adopted this approach in health sector and particularly in the primary healthcare side. So it really has brought good results and good fruits as far as primary healthcare is concerned, because I'll just briefly touch upon why it is so, because it is addressing system issues, basic issues with which our governmental public sector system was stuck up with. Why it was not delivering, why it was health facilities in far-flung areas were not delivering. So it basically, this new model whereby PPHI is working under an MOU with the government of Sindh, it addressed those core issues which were inherent in those public sector health facilities. Number one, financing model. The government of Sindh came up with under this PPP model. We have a different financing model whereby one line grant is given to PPHI. It is PPHI who has to decide, who has to prioritize funding allocation. Before this, is obviously was different model, and prioritization was not being done. So this solution, this one line single line grant, really gave a space in terms of prioritizing the areas, geographical areas, services areas where by a true delivery can be done. Number one. Number two, then administrative independence. These were the two issues which were inherent, as I told you, as far as primary healthcare facilities were of concern of government of Sindh. So when I say administrative independence, here PPHI is totally independent to take administrative decisions in terms of HR hiring, in terms of aligning services with the modern day approaches and all that, which was missing earlier. So with these few but basic inherent issues addressed with this PPP approach, obviously there has been a topsy-turvy change as far as PHC is concerned. So once I share the results, I have maybe data when PPHI started some around 14 years back, few of health facilities were handed over by government of Sindh for its management, and right now the number is 1400 plus, which means in terms of the coverage, we are managing 40% of primary healthcare as far as population is concerned, the whole of the Sindh. And in terms of rural Sindh, we are covering more than 60% of primary health coverage. So we basically came up with a new idea with same issues, and the coverage is day by day increasing. Geographical coverage is increasing, whereby PPHI is operating in all far-flung areas of province of Sindh. Maybe it's tough areas, hard areas like Kashmir, Tharparkar, Kambar district. So we are everywhere in the whole of the province. In terms of financial coverage, analyzing services being given by PPHI vis-a-vis UHC, this is another important component of UHC, that in terms of financial equity, financial facilitation, the UHC services have to be provided, keeping the financial position of the patients also. So in their terms, PPHI is providing 100% all the services free of cost, which means addressing this particular issue of UHC. In terms of services coverage, we are focusing upon all the indicators which are covered under universal health coverage, all the priority indicators, which happens to be 30. In majority of the indicators, the PPHI is providing a comprehensive and 100% package, which happens to be around more than 40 to 45%. Around 30% of indicators we are giving partial services, and there are still 15 to 20% of indicators as far as UHC is concerned, whereby PPHI is not providing those PHC services. And obviously it depends upon government also. And we have taken up this particular case with the government so that a comprehensive package of UHC is provided to the population of government of Sindh. Having said that, the good thing is we have, government of Sindh has piloted one project at Tandu Alayar, whereby a comprehensive EPHS project and package has to be given at Tandowalaya. That will be pilot. And the target is that the UHC coverage in terms of essential package of health services has to be comprehensive. All those indicators, priority indicators in terms of service delivery at PHC health facilities has to be, the target is that all those priority services are given to clients, to patients at the health facility level. So this is really a good start, whereby we are going to digitalize services. We are making the service package more comprehensive. So in winding up my discussion, I'll just say that obviously this PPP this novel approach has worked as far as primary healthcare is concerned. Number one. Number two, more efforts are required. Obviously, if the package has to be comprehensive, Sindh government, and we are negotiating with Sindh government. More health facilities, maybe 100% of primary healthcare health facilities have to be given to PPHI, and once that is done, hopefully this whole UHC package will be comprehensive in Sindh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Javed sir. So administrative independence that comes with the public partnership model has been very successful in Sindh, and if we look into this model, it could possibly be something which we can utilize, and other provinces can also utilize this model, which is solving some of the key issues and being able to administer the 3 pillars of the universal health coverage. So for the second round, we have identified all these problems, and I think we are all agreeing to it with all your expertise. We all know what the problem is. Now, if you can all just give us 2 to 3 solutions or recommendations, what should be the direction of working now in this time constraint of 5 years, trying to achieve universal health coverage through primary healthcare? Just 2, 3 recommendations from each one of you. Sir, aapse par.
Thank you. One thing I think we must keep in mind is that universal health care is not a luxury. It is a right of every child that is born, irrespective of caste, creed, or pocket, or whatever. So far, whichever model you look at, private-public model in Sindh, this is not really a private-public model. It's more of a philanthropy-driven model. That you have people, because there are more industrialists in Karachi and in Sindh, and there are very, very rich people and too many poor people. So there are very good people who want to donate something for the base of the pyramid. So that is being, I think, used. But if you go to the rural Sindh, which I have myself gone to rural Sindh many times, I think the coverage there is, nowhere near that we need to be. I think the universal health care in Punjab, they have tried to outsource it to the private, and they failed miserably. One thing the government must realize, or be made to realize, is that it is the responsibility of the government, and not anybody else. So you cannot, provide universal health care or optimum health care to people with charity. Charity is add-on. You cannot shift your entire burden of your duties to the philanthropy center. You can only thank them for doing what they are. They are not responsible. It's the government who is answerable to the people in what they have done. Unfortunately, I think what needs to be done is that we do have in Punjab, and I am in Sindh, rural health center, basic health units, but most of them are dysfunctional. They need to incentivize the human resource for health to go into these rural areas. Then they need to pay them double or maybe triple of that. So they need to populate that. Those buildings are now being used as So somebody has started a school there, or somebody, so they are not really functional at all, majority of them. So I think to make them functional, the main bottleneck is the human resource for health in these far-flung areas, the security issues, which again it's up to the government to sort out there, and then non-functional equipment there. So and then the provision of medicine is not there. So that needs a good governance model. In Punjab, we have a model where primary health care is separate and tertiary care is separate, specialized care. It didn't work. I think it was much better when we had one health department. The most important thing I think that needs to be done, and during my tenure as a minister, we started that, is the referral system. If you have a referral system where you have catchment areas with your tertiary care hospital, the teaching hospital, and then because they are also public sector organizations, then shift the duties to them to make sure that there is adequate human resource for health, like for universities, medical universities, health universities, or for the medical colleges. We did a pilot where we attached few districts to a particular medical college, like Allama Iqbal Medical College, and then the consultants were going there weekly to the basic health units, and even surgeries were started and everything. But as always, once the government changes, everything changes, unfortunately. So there was no sustainability, but the pilot did very well. 2 years pilot in these districts, Saiwal and Okada, attached to one medical college, and that improved the situation there, the vaccination rate, the nutrition, which is a problem in children, as Khalid Shafi just highlighted. And these things, our problem is there is too much overcrowding. For example, I have been chief executive of about 12 major hospitals like PIMS. In PIMS, which is a university teaching hospital, we were doing 250 plus deliveries every day. So we are not a maternity home. So that is why I think the people look up to these tertiary care hospitals, because there are non-functional facilities next door. So that they need to be made functional.
Thank you. So 2 minutes में what should we do? क्या करें? 2 चीजें 3 चीजें क्या करें?
I will just add to what Dr. Javed has mentioned. Actually, our priorities should be focused toward the prevention. That is the only way we can get the universal health coverage. And the missing part is that all the attention is on the curative medicine. Even preventive medicine is not much taught as it should be in the undergraduate and the other curriculum. And in the primary health care, the missing part is the community engagement. And the community participant is still in the places where it is practiced. The community engagement is not there. In the Azad Jammu Kashmir, the community engagement is so strong that their 85% vaccination is done at the vaccine centers. The community is so bound that they do not miss any vaccination. Their coverage is more than 90%. But in the other parts, it is only 30% vaccine is done at the fixed center, while the vaccinator has to go door to door. So it's a community participation which is an essential part of the PHC.
Right.
It should be promoted. That is the way we can get good results.
Dr. Sobia, 2 things we can do.
I think the key is the prevention, and we have to start with prevention if we really want to have universal health coverage with PHC. And the prevention has to start from the school-based trainings, nutrition, vaccination, and just from the grassroots level. Secondly, build up on the front line.
It's 2 p.m.
At Badar Expo Solutions, we are committed to connecting people, creating values, and delivering impactful events. Our mission is to make emerging healthcare trends and innovations accessible globally, while fostering meaningful B2B matchmaking opportunities between local and international stakeholders.
हेल्थ केयर एक्सपो एंड कॉन्फ्रेंस लास्ट ईयर हमने शुरू की, इस साल इसका सेकेंड एडिशन है. अगेन इसे एक बहुत बड़ी मैं सक्सेस समझता हूँ कि पहले सेशन के बाद हम दूसरे एडिशन के ऊपर आए.
Your vision and dedication in promoting Pakistan healthcare industry through such high-level platform is really commendable.
Let me start by congratulating Mr. Zuhair from Badar Expos and the spirit behind Abid Abbas Sheikh Saab for arranging such a beautiful conference.
ये सिर्फ एक नुमाइश या एग्जीबिशन नहीं है, ये एक सोच है, ये एक सफ़र है जिसकी बुनियाद डाली जा रही है. और हेल्थ केयर एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है कि इसको समझने की और इस पर अमल करने की ज़रूरत है. तो मैं ज़ुहैर नसीर साहब आपको और आपकी टीम को बदर सोल्यूशन को खराज तहसीन पेश करता हूँ.
Assalamu alaikum ji. I'm really grateful to the organizers for having this very important session on patient safety. Something which is very close to the heart of everyone who is concerned with medicine, deals with medicine, either in the form of a professional doctor, a medical professionalist, or regulatory bodies like DRAP, or those who are in the process of making medicines like from the pharmaceutical country. So a very important factor which involves all of us equally. So, patient safety is one thing that we feel, and I personally feel, is not given that much significance and importance in our country as it has been given to anywhere else in the world. So, at times, I myself being a practicing surgeon, I know when I was working at the JPMC Jinnah Hospital, or later on I'm working in the private sector now, that patient safety does not come as one thing that we should be taking care of as the first step. And that is what we want our new generation of doctors who are coming up, that they should be aware of that. So a panel which represents almost everyone from physician, Aftab Sahab, from surgeons, to those who are in regulatory bodies, from PharmU, and those also who are from the hospital side, like Nashwa is from the South City Hospital. So let's start. I'll start you, sir, Aftab Sahab. What structure and cognitive factors most commonly contribute to the diagnostic errors that we make? And there are a number of diagnostic errors we all know. And how can healthcare team, not an individual, proactively mitigate them? What do you think? What do you think how it could be done?
I think the first thing to do would be to define diagnostic error for the sake of the public. And diagnostic error means when you cannot make the right diagnosis
or you miss the right diagnosis, or even if a diagnosis is delayed, that is also called a diagnostic error. And if even the diagnosis is correctly made, is made in time, and not communicated to the patient in time, even that is a diagnostic error. So in US, about 12 million diagnostic errors took place 2 years ago in 1 year. And they were responsible for a number of deaths. Diagnostic errors, they come under the ambit of medical errors. And the errors were first highlighted in a report of Institute of Medicine, which was published in 1999. So I personally believe that these occur because we do not do Sir William Osler asked the modern day, and he was professor at University of Pennsylvania in 1908. His so actually on clinical systems, in many perspectives, we know that the correct that can be made in a 75% on history, 7% on examination, and 13% on investigation. So if employ the right and on the one important thing is senior stop pushing things and that contracts errors. The diagnosis is incorrect, then towards a trust. It jeopardizes the outcome of the patient. It causes a burden on cost. Miller responsible for additional cost on this law. If we start with the history, time with the patient, and if we have systems, unfortunately, when we are overburdened with patients, we do not have systems. So first, the cognitive problem that the physician herself or himself is at fault. Then are the systems. अब वो कहते हैं कि जी EMR, electronic medical record होना चाहिए. बड़े-बड़े उद्योग हैं माशाल्लाह. You have headed so many institutions. Now you are at the helm of the policy making in the province of minister. You know that these doctors, EMR requires time. Go to US and UK, a doctor is supposed to see only a maximum 10 to 12 patients in one day because it takes 30 minutes to register the patient on it. तो एक EMR हो, दूसरी तरफ number of patients ज़्यादा है. फिर हम जब मांगते हैं as a physician sir, we ask for data entry operator, कहते हैं नहीं ये आपने करना है. तो बड़ी ही एक dilemma है. फिर दो चीजें और हैं with the permission of the chair, I would like to highlight जो नौकरी में significant contribute करती है. एक है health disparities. और आपसे ज़्यादा कौन अवेयर होगा कि जब मरीज आता है हॉस्पिटल में, वो लोग इनको सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरत है कि they are receiving the I value people who doctors look down on them. ऐसे वो कर रहा है, वो तो एडिक्ट अपनी मर्जी है, वो तो आपकी शफाबत चाह रहा है. People who are left unattended, people who are poor and marginalized, people who are mentally challenged, people who are old and who have multi-morbidity, ये सारों को ज्यादा जरूरत है. और prisoners, लेकिन इनको कम मिलता है. तो एक ये भी है डायग्नोस्टिक एरर्स की, मेडिकल एरर की. और सर एक और वजह है, वो है ये सिस्टम इंसेंटिवाइज करता. कोई अच्छा काम कर रहा है या बुरा काम कर रहा है, वो सब के लिए बराबर.
Dr. Naveed, continuing with what Abdam sir बताया in a very nice, elaborative way, what errors are. Don't you think, as he has said, now we are emphasizing on two that knowledge is examination are emphasized a lot, and they were that as he has very majority of the diagnosis. Today, हमारे साथ जो लोग because of the availability of scan है हमारा the first the patient comes with a headache. Again, easy way to diagnose because you've got so much rush, you don't want to examine him properly, but how much does people take to diagnostic and how can it be overcome?
Sir, thank you very much for giving me a chance to collaborate myself on such an important topic. So you are very right, sir. Said a very important sentence in the beginning. Listen to the parent telling you the diagnosis. So I personally, one factor is the patient's workload because of our doctor's and the patient actually also him. One thing we do the patient. That sense that like with the touch mom and the baby. Exactly the same relation with the patient and the doctor. This linkage and how we can like re-step this link, I don't know. The patient to doctor number, but I was that this factor should address seriously, and this should not only when the patient strengthen the patient doctor, but it also deals the workload on the investigation. Like, no matter the doctor testing is chemistry, but if we start doing that, and if we start relevant to the patient, and then full explanation to the patient, because once the patient is the patient, office of the clinician is, I don't know, so we should properly explanation, and it would definitely release the workload on our investigation. As sir mentioned, a few days back, also jeopardize the patient safety as well, which is our prime day. And recently I was reading an article in which it was mentioned that the number of deaths in USA, because USA, they are the icons for us. We read the books written by their doctors, and it counts around 2 lakh a year because of the breach in the patient safety chain. And number 2 is example of UK. The NHS rate rose almost to 40% in the last 1 to 2 years. So I personally highlight the very true topic of this age. The number of patients, the main cause that are diagnosed to battery of investigation diagnosing, and we will miss between the patient and doctor because we cannot examine.
Some very the latest thing like the companies. Do you have a solution for the problems that have been raised for overcome these diagnostic errors? Do you have that? Not the diagnostic. So do you send just talking together? Can they be of any support in overcoming this decision of a diagnostic to not to go wrong?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, sir. First of all, we at Digitrends currently working on the AI solutions which we think can make a difference in patient safety. I will give you examples which I think is event how AI and IT can make a big impact on patient safety. First of all, we are going to integrate with our EMR solution. So currently in the conventional EMR, if doctor enter the wrong medicine, or if any medicine which is not suitable for the patient, he has allergies or some kind of histories, doctor cannot go through all the EMR details every time, and he can enter wrongly some medicine which may affect the health of the patient. I can enter with the EMR and the real time stop the doctor to not enter that medicine that can be harmful for the patient. In fact, many other features very helpful when AI integrate into the current AI current. The second would be we are currently working on the world first FDA approved e-device. So when the device is data the mobile application, and mobile application submitting that data to the doctor who has and then he's diagnosing times the medication over his whatever he sees over his diagnosis. Create AI into that in between, where doctor is currently diagnosing or checking the ECG. The system can do this only, and it can assess patient needs emergency attention of the cancer or telemedication, telemedicine, doctor to patient. So if we integrate AI agents into this hardware monitoring system, healthcare hardware monitoring system with the patient and doctor, that AI can do the kind of problem. So it can be great back. But that access tool, we are partnered with the leading tools as Virtual We developed the tool here in Pakistan. And see, we saw a very good happen on AI on that tool. If you took a picture of your skin region, the AI image recognition system can recognize either its psoriasis or its eczema through the thousands of images which is already stored in the database of the AI, and doctor who may not be diagnosed that this is an early stage of AI can detect it in a very early stage. So these are the 3-4 examples which I think, and this is already happening in the world. AI has been integrated. Because we are not only trying to implement and integrate these solutions currently within this Pakistan market and in South in Dubai. We are also taking care how the AI governance and how AI compliance is be a part of it. So it can be implemented. So the AI will make an impact, inshallah.
Thank you. Dr. Mehma, my question to you, because you're also associated with the pharmaceutical, what prescribing safeguards are there for effective avoiding any prescribing liquidity or anything that can be a wrong prescription because you're in the pharmaceutical? What safeguard the pharmaceutical has done to them? For example, I can give you a number of medicines with a name similar in cases of equipment and thus picking up the wrong one, and it may be illegal for the patient. So what are the safeguards that the pharmacist is taking in order to avoid prescribing?
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Uma. I'm representing a pharmaceutical, but I also hold up for a primary setup here in Karachi. So I have kind of an empty or a cap of, say, from pharmaceutical perspective end as well. And there have been a lot of solutions that आपने sir आपने AI की बात करी and lot of integrations. And same goes when I'm saying about what can be implemented in pharmaceutical companies. But before I can actually talk about what should be done, I'll be talking about a patient safety culture. It is a small presentation. If you may all allow me a small presentation. The issue of patients we're talking about, especially here. So if you may allow brief presentation. It's only 10 11 slides.
We can just discuss that now. We can give a discussion about that.
Sorry?
We're running short of time. So
Okay. All right. So I'll just make it very precise. When it comes to area or pharmacovigilance, the first thing that has to come is to start reporting. We don't hold a culture of report. Already has established systems in which healthcare providers, people who are in the pharmaceutical companies are encouraged to report any ADR which is reported. And I'm talking about the drug errors. I'm not about the medical errors. As I initially, also a bit of medical errors. We do not know being reported and what are the root causes of it? How are we going to actually establish systems in our areas to counter that? And I'm sorry, I was not able to listen to your specific questions regarding pharmacovigilance.
The drug which we use. For example, recently, DRAP has withdrawn a serum because it was causing a lot of complications. Many medicines are withdrawn. So what pharmaceutical industry is taking care of avoiding those errors take place when you are manufacturing a medicine? What are the protocols that you follow? Are there any protocols?
Yes, definitely. See, pharmaceutical companies, especially in Pakistan, I consider this is the most regulated industry. Federal regulations as well, federal ones. There are systems established. For example, I'd give an example of LASA, which is called as the localizing cyanide, which is the major one of the major causes of wrong administering or wrong prescribing. And there is a whole system established, especially MNCs as well as the pharmaceutical companies. They have established systems that they do have, and especially with the interface systems, we are able to check. And similarly goes with the names. But unfortunately, I would refer to the case of all are aware. The case of SEN, we already know that. Practices of administration rather than something which was falling under the pharmaceutical. So the indications are, of course, devised.
Thank you. You are related to a hospital, a major hospital in the city. So what do you think in a hospital? We all know there are so many cases reported. So patients have died. So what are the major protocols that we apply, or what are the systems that need to be in place in order to avoid all that, what is actually happening if patients are being misled or being neglected or whenever they come to any protocols that are there, or you will suggest them to be applied?
Ji, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, sir, for having us. Thank you for having us. So I work very closely with a lot of workflows with different kinds of care providers, be them physicians or nurses. Now, in terms of reducing harm, there are different components to how you can reduce harm based on who the provider is. जैसे हमने आज की डिस्कस देखा है, the physician perspective, the surgeon's perspective, are unique and different. They have different goals for the patient, be it their assessment, their diagnostics, the treatment plan. There's a vision which is dedicated to the physician. Where safety falls in, where measures fall in, to use in that pathway is separate. That is something that is separately, that has different patterns, different safety measures. Talking about surgery, something like this. Let's start from when the patient arrives in your clinic. What is being communicated? What is being implemented? What is the record? What is the patient saying? And in the event of a harm happening, was that harm pre-warned, pre-informed patient? Was it uninformed to the patient? What are accountability measures in place or for the providers? So, surgeons, for example, nursing is a completely different game. Nurse role is absolutely separate. They are more involved with the hands-on care of the patient. How to prevent getting harm from deliveries while they're in the hospital, during mobilization, during aspiration, for example. To prevent medication errors, what is the process, the medication cycle? Account, make sure medication is being safe.
A number of times we are prescribing a medicine I got a problem. He says, for example, prolactin deficiency, yeah, I've got epilepsy. And when we are prescribing a medicine, not for that, for other reasons, we cannot know whether this medicine will be harmful to that, it's contraindicated. So at times we miss. No doctor can have knowledge about every disease that's contraindicated. Do you think the use of e-prescription could be effective in that, or still the use of our own intelligence in that will be more effective?
I think you have rightly put it out. Electronic method or e-prescription can help reduce it, but it cannot eliminate it. Healthcare industry is supposed to be an industry which is far less regulated than many other industries, flying industry. People who are flying jets and airlines, they are far more meticulous in their work, whereas the number of people at the hands of medical error is for errors have become the leading cause of death. Of them, there are 250,000 every year. Half of them are preventable. And sir, 250,000 makes it about 680 per day. That's like 1.5 jumbo jet going down every day. And look at the time, look at the method, look at the money that is being spent on airline safety compared to our so something we're doing is that, and it requires a
number of errors that we have. Even the who make an error, and this on the history of the patient, because Iman is very good, it's a new, but practically speaking, as we have been working in the government sector hospital, the prescription you write in the government sector hospital, nobody did it, 300 it's not possible to go back for each one of them. Limited number of patients, unlimited number of patients. Whose condition can only suggest protocol or safety measures could be undertaken. Either it should be at the end of the prescribing term or the which is issuing should take care of that when the pharmaceutical after prescription diet, that this should not be given to patient or the dose is correct. Do you think how could it be correct?
I think the highlight issue in your own question that it can be anyone working in isolation. What we are doing right, working inside opposition, working, action, fasting there. EMR, I don't think is going to be the solution. There are two methods to it. I believe that if end point with the patient, that builds trust. It also ensures patient safety. Every time we have to think differently. The money cannot go to the armed forces of Pakistan and our patients of their dues. ये कहाँ है कि 1 GDP कम और 1 से कम आता है. This thing will have changed. वो कहते हैं हम 2 लाख लोग मरते हैं हर साल और वो कहते हैं 3 मिलियन लोग मरते हैं हर साल. 54 million medical errors take place every year, which is among us. So हमारे तो वो figures ही नहीं है. So we have to bring in more money. We have to bring in more resources. और वो पाके कहाँ से आएंगे? डेट सर्विसिंग से आएंगे, आर्म फोर्सेस से लेंगे. हो रही थी सर कि प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर पे पैसा नहीं लगाते और इंडस को 10 बिलियन दे दिया. भाई इंडस को 10 ही चाहिए, मगर ये है कि वो ये समझते हैं कि इंडस से लेके नहीं लगाया जा सकता. इंडस को पहले ही ज्यादा चाहिए, आपको मजीद चाहिए और उसको आना इन ऑर्डर टू इम्प्रूव. और ये सोल्यूशन सर.
So what can do is, though these gadgets are very good, the EMR or the digitalization, but it is not this case. You can have a blanket thing from the US coming to Pakistan. We have to cut it according to our own needs and our own requirements and our own problems that we have. सबसे बड़ा चीज है कि you don't have that of system development. लेकिन robotic के बाद whether the board not costing billions of rupees, whether that should be spent on a road report or primary health care, because tertiary health care should be is given more emphasis upon in every part of life rather than the primary health care. जब दुनिया भर में प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर करते हैं ताकि आपको पेटी ना है, क्लीन वाटर नहीं है आपके पास, इम्यूनाइजेशन कमी है, and they all better. मैं नवीन साहब आप पूछूंगा, being a surgeon, we make checklist, we make strategies or data you will suggest to avoid those errors that we bring ourselves.
So this is all missions are meant for the patient safety first, and these all checklists They are meant for this purpose. There are many checklists, sir. First is a WHO, second is the past checklist, surgical patients, safety factors. But sir, I honestly believe before we go to the fancy checklist, we need to add our providers. And the stakeholders, in my end, they are the nursing staff. You may agree or not that most of the time spent with the patient is so just are the WHO checklist. WHO checklist is basically is meant for mainly in the room before before the patient operating room. It is all there while the patient is inside the operating room. Actually, sir, the safety starts right from the clinic of the clinician. When the patient visits the clinic of the clinician, the safety is to be adapted. So pre-operative care and then followed and then it is encompassed by the is called these days as peri-operative care. So, in my opinion, in pre-op care, we should retain history. Actually, I would include that. Go back to this. Actually, sir, we have like electronic medical records and like EMS and EMRs and something different. It should be like Vazi and everything. We have money with us, so we'll have to go to this. We need to take the history and the patient and two of it that would be and likewise, when for the surgery, I say we go to patient to open things like too much to be is supposed to be found. This is done by nursing. Like and the consent form put in front of the patient, please just sign it. What is written in that consent form? Neither does the patient or the attenders. So, sir, why these checklists? But after once we have done our homework, we have got our basic stakeholders in the wards, in the hospitals, in the OPD, and then sir, the operating room, mainly the WHO checklist. Definitely, if it is emphasized in true letter and spirit, it can avoid so many avoidable medical accidents, right? And then obviously post-operative in the number of and the post-operative surgery operates and more like nursing staff. Nursing staff, the ratio be 60:2 or maybe 60:2, and I think sir, basic needs to be improved.
बदर की तरफ से जो है एक अच्छा हमें प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसके हम लोग अपने डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स को जो है शोकेस करते हैं। बदर एक्सपो ने हमें प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, काफी सपोर्ट भी करती है और उसने काफी सपोर्ट किया है।
But for solutions, we are committed to connecting people, creating values, and delivering impactful events. Our mission is to make emerging innovations accessible while fostering meaningful B2B matchmaking opportunities between local and international stakeholders.
हेल्थ एक्सपर्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस लास्ट ईयर ने शुरू की, कल इसका सेकंड एडिशन है। अगेन इसे एक बहुत बड़ा सक्सेस समझता हूँ कि पहले सेशन के बाद हम सेशन के ऊपर आए।
Your vision and dedication in promoting Pakistan healthcare industry through such high-level platform is really commendable.
By congratulating Mr. Zohair from Badar Expo and the spirit behind the boss Sheikh Saab for arranging such a beautiful conference.
ये सिर्फ एक नुमाइश या एग्जीबिशन नहीं है, ये एक सोच है, ये एक सफर जिस बुनियाद आ रही है वो समझने और उस पर अमल करने की ज़रूरत है। तो मैं ज़ोहैर नसीर साहब आपको और आपकी टीम को बदर सॉल्यूशन को खराज तहसीन पेश करता हूँ।
ये हम लोग को एक बदर एक्सपो की तरफ से जो है एक अच्छा हमें प्लेटफॉर्म मिला हुआ करते बदर एक्सपो ने हमें एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, वो हमें काफ़ी सपोर्ट भी करती है और आप डिफरेंट कंपनीज को भी उसने काफ़ी सपोर्ट किया है।
The investors and even the dealers and the distributors to participate and engage in this seminar and the Badar Expo. Continue these seminars for the general awareness of people.
Tonight at the Pi Gala dinner, we honor the very heart of Pakistan, its vibrant culture and its progressive spirit.
रखियो बालाड़ सिंदड़ी दा सेवन दा सही शहबा कलंदर जवान कलंदर तमाम कलंदर सही शहबा कलंदर सही शहबा कलंदर बड़े दम दम दे
On behalf of Badar Expo Solutions and Pakistan Navy, I thank all of you for being here tonight.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम सैयद खावर है और मैं QNN फ्लेवर रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ। QNN फ्लेवर जो है बेसिकली ड्रीमर रिजॉर्ट का फूड ब्रांड है। ठीक है, इस वक्त हमारे पास यहाँ पे जैम की पूरी रेंज जैसे कि आप लोग देख रहे हैं। इसमें हमारे पास रेड एप्पल जैम, गोल्डन स्ट्रॉबेरी, पाइनएप्पल और मैंगो जैम है। इसी तरीके से चटनी है, हमारे पास सॉसेस हैं, मिक्स पिकल है और कुकिंग पेस्ट की पूरी रेंज है जिसमें जिंजर की रेंज है, रेड चिली, ग्रीन चिली, पपाया वगैरह तमाम पेस्ट वगैरह है। केचप भी है हमारे पास और रेड चिली भी है, सिरप भी है। इस वक्त हम यहाँ पे एक्सपो में मौजूद हैं और बदर एक्सपो ने ये एक्सपो लगाया है और इस पर हम 20% ऑफ दे रहे हैं अपनी ऑल रेंज के ऊपर। ठीक है, अभी हम लोग यहाँ पे मौजूद थे, स्पॉन्सर दी है कि भी बहुत अच्छा है।
मैं इग्लू पाकिस्तान प्राइवेट लिमिटेड को इस वक्त यहाँ पे रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ। इग्लू पाकिस्तान डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, हमने अपनी इग्लू आइसक्रीम और हमारी होममेड की रेंज है वो कंप्लीट हमने यहाँ बदर एक्सपो, जो कि बदर एक्सपो की तरफ से बचत बाज़ार लगाया गया एक्सपो सेंटर कराची में। तो हम इस वक्त हॉल नंबर 3 में मौजूद हैं। आप लोग विज़िट करें और अपनी फैमिली से लेकर आएँ। और इस बचत बाज़ार में डिफरेंट स्टॉल्स वालों ने डिफरेंट जो है वो यहाँ पे डिस्काउंट्स ऑफ़र किए हुए हैं हर ब्रांड ने। तो आप लोग आएँ और ये डिस्काउंट्स जो है वो अवेल करें और इग्लू का स्टॉल भी विज़िट करें। और हमने जो है अपनी आइसक्रीम रेंज के ऊपर और अपनी होममेड पराठा के ऊपर डिफरेंट डिस्काउंट्स ऑफ़र किए हुए हैं। आप आएँ और अवेल करें डिस्काउंट्स।
मेरा नाम मारिया फातिमा है और मैं यहाँ पे बचत एक्सपो में खड़ी हूँ और ये इसके
It's 3 AM.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Najaf Malik Khan, Chief Operating Officer of Sindh People's Housing for Flood Affectees, to speak on the important topic, Sindh Flood Affectees, World's Largest Housing Reconstruction Initiative. Mr. Najaf Malik Khan.
Thank you very much, Ji, and a very good morning. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here to presenting the case of one of the largest housing reconstruction post-disaster in the world. So there were a few terms being taken by the previous colleague or the presenter who was here in terms of resilience, in terms of cyber security, in terms of information technology, and coming out of the sea to the land. We are the people actually been working in terms of integrating all technologies and most advanced methods to largest development perspective projects in the world. So introducing world largest housing reconstruction program, that is Sindh People Housing Factories. So basically giving you the background, in 2022, Sindh was devastated by flooding. The precipitation remained there for around 2 months. The whole of this was around 74% Sindh was inundated. Calamity hit, it actually declared as calamity hit, and 24 out of 30 districts were severely damaged in 2022 floods. Around population that was affected was 12.36 million people, and as per the data validation carried out by Pakistan Army, by federal government and the government of Sindh, around 1 million houses were damaged or destroyed in this devastating event. We started with the initial financing of the World Bank. It was initially $500 million with co-financing for the government of Sindh share of around 150 million US dollar. But gradually, we actually have accomplished the total financing of around $2.1 billion as of date, including the support from Islamic Development Bank, from Asian Development Bank, of course, from the government of Pakistan and government of Sindh also. In addition to that, we have got grant financing from the agencies. In terms of the largest player that has given us the grant financing is UNIDO and EU. And we are currently having discussions with European Investment Bank for the provision of around 115 million euros. So financially and scalably in both cases, this is one of the largest initiatives which was actually spearheaded by the government of Sindh. Now, actually, what were the factors actually which supported mobilization of a huge financing within the time frame of 2.5 years was basically the transparency, the efficacy of system, and the team that was working behind in actually reconstructing 2.1 million houses in a very short duration of time. Previously, we had these experiences in Pakistan. In 2005 earthquake, probably one of our colleagues, few of our colleagues might have heard about it. Then it was 2015 Nepal earthquake, and major initiative collectively, the housing reconstruction program was around 1.6 million around. But only in Sindh, we are working at 1.1 million housing. So if you look at the firms which actually support the program, we have 3 bigs out of the 4 bigs as audit firms. PwC is our external auditor, KPMG internal auditor, and Arang is big implementation and support consultant. So every transaction is accounted by 3 large auditors in addition to those that are being carried out by the government of Pakistan. And I'm saying you'll support us and this huge enormous amount of support the parties within the country. Lean, 17 while techno structure, the support structure comprises of another 15 to 20 people. But we heavily rely on the private sector when it comes to technology transfer, when it comes to implementation on ground, and when it comes to assuring sustainability and transparency and innovative future. So if you look at this slide, we are working with the 5 largest RSPs, which are rural support programs and NGOs in Pakistan. And these are also finances. So as a housing reconstruction program, we are giving a kind of a support for reconstruction of a multi-hazard resilient house. If you look at the history of Sindh, the Sindh have been affected in 2010 due to riverine flooding, 2011 due to precipitation, 2014, 2015, 2018, and then again in 2022. So it was inevitable to launch a program which was basically to support, and again the word was being used that was resilient, that you have to move from regular where the floods and which of course the climate impacts. Inevitable that is going to happen. Start with the designs, those who are working with for managing information system and so forth. So as I've already mentioned, the scope of the construct around 2 million housing units. People sitting here, the colleagues sitting here are aware of saying this is the only program who have supported of more than 4.5 million financial systems. These people were those who the bank. These were the people in how banking and system works. These people normally account any other support can be to these people in initiated housing around 1,000 housings plinth level, while the count 650. Keeping in view and taking the advantage of technology, the current certificate rate is around 25,000 various level. Is currently and around 40,000 houses are being completed every month. In addition to the housing camp, there are other banks of this program, and the largest, actually, if you can look, is basically the job program, because this contractor involved, there is no whole program. The money into the accounts, it is an owner-driven, and the money created in the local economy result, of economy, not of, money circulation, also terms of development of and export locations across the 4 districts. And of course, finally, the social region, and this is the first time that in tech fisheries are on an application. Starting application, and maybe all fisheries, and it is related that and discussion on future development practice from World Bank.
This project is so important. This miracle in the and housing isn't just bricks and mortar, is a result of that lives house.
Basically, the interest we are working for more than 2,000 houses in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in Balochistan also, predominantly in Jaffa. Now, as I've already mentioned, this is a complete ecosystem in which digital ecosystem in which we are working. So it is all technology based. So real-time reviews. Would like to give a brief on the same behavior stall in the ministry. So if you are in, so we are currently doing them. We are command systems. We are doing, our accounting system is on SAP, and all the systems currently are integrated for the development initiative. So it's a stage-based component in which initial damage assessment and validation has been taken. After that, installment of around 5,000 is being released by fishery. The release of assessment, the fisheries go bank activates the account, take the money. They construct their plinth, which is against standards. Second installment at 1,000 and little. Third installment at roof. And of course, keeping in view the climate change perspective, we are also supporting social forestry and plantation at the. So these are SMF plus initiatives that we are taking. As I've already mentioned, that monitoring is real time on a single click, and this is available at the stall also in SPHF stall here in arena, that you single click can see the progress of each and every household, which is geotagged at what stage and what level it is, and that can be monitored from Karachi, from anywhere else, online on real-time basis. So one of the biggest questions was, what about the social infrastructure? Housing is one part of it. If you want to talk about elements, we have also digitalized the social for the social structure. We are digitalizing villages. Currently, we have digitalized more than 1,000 villages, in which each and every household is tagged in terms of available facilities. And this is the facility that is going to support us in terms of helping future programs and investments, especially when it comes to water in terms of settlement. This is going to be in the scarcity of time. I'll skip that. I've already mentioned this is the kind of work in terms of settlement is going. Planning to expand it around 40,000 villages, in which you have got ready projects to be delivered, digitalized, and the digital integration can be with the planning development department and other departments that are working in Sindh. Currently, we have secured financing of around $600 million under this initiative. Around 40,000 villages will be covered with benefit population of 4.45 million G. And finally, I think the transformation that they're talking about. So this is where people were living pre-flood, and transformation that is happening in. Thank you once again, Ji. It was a pleasure being here and an honor being here, Ji. Thank you very much.
So, highlighting the multi-sourced by floods and insights.
Now request our honored chief guest, Admiral Faisal Hilale Imtiaz Military Sitare Balkan Coast, address what is followed by souvenir presentation ceremony and group photograph.
Rahim, distinguished guests, maritime community, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum. It is for me to call this important of the National Maritime Conference on Maritime Security Challenges. My special thanks to National Institute of Maritime Affairs, Naval Headquarters branch for inviting me for this session. During today's discovery, speaking on issues of maritime security. These include use of means to harness artificial intelligence and data, better maritime domain of smart technologies, cyber security, means to address maritime security challenges, and 2035 cyber doomsday scenario highlighted by one of the speakers is a real eye-opener. Ladies and gentlemen, today's maritime domain simultaneous focus on security and commercialization. the increasing number of cyber attacks on global ports and shipping dictates that digital transformation without robust security means and systems is not pragmatic. Conversely, security without adopting technological innovations places us at great risk and exposes vulnerabilities in global market. Pakistan must embrace maritime transformation with sophistication, blending the cutting-edge technology, facility, and comprehensive framework. As we know that AI-powered maritime domain awareness systems can fuse satellite imagery, sensor data, and navigation intercepts into actionable working and an integrated surveillance architecture designed to link satellites, radars, UAVs, and maritime patrol aircrafts can ensure safe, uninterrupted use of the maritime zone. Apart from this, the digital transformation of our ports and maritime infrastructure would aim at efficiency and security in the face of complex cybersecurity challenges, demand quick response to the threats. Security must extend beyond ports to maritime ecosystem, protecting undersea cables, port facilities, shipping networks, and command structures while ensuring seamless operational continuity. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's maritime security capabilities contribute to the regional stability and global connectivity. Pakistan Navy's contributions in ensuring safety of global commons is evident from its regular participation in the collaborative maritime security frameworks and independent deployments in our area of interest. Distinguished Pakistan today stands at a maritime crossroads where we can either accept the status transform into the maritime security powerhouse based on our geography and capability. This requires smart ports with integrated security, cybersecurity frameworks, climate-resilient infrastructure, and AI-driven threat detection systems that can drive growth while ensuring comprehensive protection. Together, we must now advance with determination for a stronger, more secure, and prosperous seas that safeguards trade, blue economy, and ensure global activity through robust maritime security. In the end, I sincere appreciation to all the distinguished speakers and panelists whose valuable insights have enriched this forum and highlighted issues which concern all. I must salute to the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, Pakistan Navy, and the National Institute of Maritime Affairs for gathering the maritime community and conduct this conference. I thank you all, and Pakistan Navy, Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you, sir.
We request our Honorable Chief to kindly remain on stage so that we can move forward with souvenir distribution ceremony. We request Rear Admiral Javed Iqbal, Imtiaz Military, come on stage and Honorable Chief Guest for presentation of souvenirs to our distinguished speakers.
I invite Mr. Bilal Khan Kakar.
Professor Dr. Azhar Ahmad.
Rear Admiral Dr. Ikram, Hilal-e-Imtiaz Military, retired.
Mr. Najaf Malik Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, we now request Rear Admiral Javed Iqbal, Hilal-e-Imtiaz Military, to present the souvenir to our Honorable Chief Guest. I ask esteemed speakers to join Honorable Chief Guest for a group photograph.
तरफ से जो है एक अच्छा हमें प्लेटफॉर्म मिला हुआ है IEEE फेयर का, जिसके अंदर हम लोग डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स को जो है शोकेस करते हैं।
बदर एक्सपो ने हमें एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, वो हमें काफ़ी सपोर्ट भी करती है और यहाँ पे डिफरेंट कंपनीज को भी उसने काफ़ी सपोर्ट किया है।
like to thank the dignitaries and all the guests, the sponsors, the exhibitors who have been with us through the years and have made this event possible.
It is a great opportunity for the investors and even the dealers and the distributors to participate and engage in this seminar, and I further request the management of Badar Expo to continue these seminars for the general awareness of the people.
बदर एक्सपो की तरफ से जो है एक अच्छा हमें प्लेटफॉर्म मिला हुआ है IEEE फेयर का, जिसके अंदर हम लोग अपने डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स को जो है शोकेस करते हैं।
बदर एक्सपो ने हमें एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, हमें काफ़ी सपोर्ट भी करती है और यहाँ पे डिफरेंट कंपनीज को भी उसने काफ़ी सपोर्ट किया है।
Tonight at the Pai Gala dinner, we honor the very heart of Pakistan, its vibrant culture, its timeless traditions, and its progressive spirit.
साकू यार मना बनाए ओ भावे सिर दी बाजी लग जावे ओ भावे सिर दी बाजी लग जावे ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो बाला झूले लालन ओ लाल मेरी ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो बाला झूले लालन सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सही शहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सही शहबाज कलंदर सही शहबाज कलंदर वटे दम दम दे
On behalf of Badar Expo Solutions and Pakistan Navy, I thank all of you for being here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Commodore Ehsan Ahmed Khan, Sitara-e-Imtiaz Military, Deputy President, Maritime Center of Excellence, Pakistan Navy War College, Lahore. He will present on the subject Integrating Naval Modernization, Indigenous Defense Production and Blue Economy, Building a Self-Reliant Maritime Future for Pakistan. You're welcome to the stage, sir.
Vice Admiral Ahmed Saeed, Hilal Imtiaz Military, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's indeed an honor for me to be on this podium today, and my greatest gratitude to the President Nima, both incoming and outgoing, having given me this opportunity to stand here on a very important forum where the maritime future of our country is being discussed threadbare, and where the convergence of industrial and economic aspiration comes to a place from where we can draw our decisions for future as well. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the history, the seas have not only connected continents, but also shaped civilization. From Phoenician traders to British admirals, the story of global power is, above all, the story of sea power. As an American historian and strategist, Alfred Thayer argued in the influence of sea power upon history. And he said, and I quote, "Control of the seas through commerce, naval capacity, maritime industry determines the rise and fall of nations." His English counterpart, Sir Julian Corbett, later expanded this vision and asserted that command of the sea is as much about sustaining trade and logistics as it is about projecting force. Ladies and gentlemen, these insights remain strikingly relevant for Pakistan today. With 1,000+ kilometers coastline, access to the Arabian Sea, and proximity to the world's busiest waterways and choke points, like the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb, maritime strength is not a luxury, but a strategic necessity for Pakistan. To secure this space, Pakistan must modernize its navy, strengthen indigenous defense production, and expand its blue economy, not as an isolated effort, but as interlinked component of one national maritime ecosystem. My central thesis here is simple. Investment in naval modernization and indigenous defense production is not a cost to the state. It is an investment in national economic growth. Every shipyard built for naval production becomes a facility capable of constructing commercial vessels, offshore platforms, and ocean energy structures. Every engineer trained for naval systems integration can later serve the blue economy in ocean research, smart ports, and ship repairs. Every innovation in composites, propulsion, and AI-based logistics multiplies civilian benefits across fisheries, coastal energy, and maritime transport. This approach has been proven by leading maritime powers. Although many models are available to justify this argument, however, given the time constraint, I will be covering only 4 models here. South Korea offers the model of dual-use maritime developments. Hyundai Heavy Industries builds both Aegis destroyers for the Republic of Korean Navy and LNG ship supertanker within shared facilities. Hanwha Ocean, formerly called as Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering, produces KSS-2 and KSS-3 submarines, while also designs commercial carriers, advanced propulsion, and automation systems. Korea Research Institute of Ships and Ocean Engineering develops autonomous vessels, green propulsion, and underwater robotics for both naval and civilian markets. Turkey's success story is equally enlightening. Its national shipbuilding vision targets both defense and self-sufficiency and maritime export growth. Companies like STM and ASFAT, operating under the hybrid public-private framework, produces frigates, corvettes, submarines, and logistic ships while supporting commercial shipbuilding and port logistics. The same engineers who design naval systems also develop maritime softwares and port management tools. China institutionalized integration through its civil-military fusion strategy. China State Shipbuilding Corporation, now merged with China Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, builds PLA Navy ships alongside LNG carriers and container ships. Subsidiaries like Hudong Zhonghua and Dalian Shipbuilding operates as dual-use facilities serving both PLA Navy and global clients. The China Ocean Engineering Shanghai Company and Sanya Deep Sea Science and Technology Center links ocean energy, deep sea exploration, and naval oceanography. India's dual policy of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Sagarmala links self-reliance and blue economy growth. Mazagan Dock Shipbuilders, Garden Research, and Goa Shipyard produces naval and commercial crafts. Larsen and Toubro bridges submarine construction, offshore infrastructure. However, ladies and gentlemen, to realize such an integration, Pakistan must first confront its structural challenges. Pakistan's maritime industrial ecosystem at best be described as fragmented and suffers from structural and operational challenges. This fragmentation is a major reason why the sector's contribution to the national GDP is 0.4% to 0.8% despite its inherent potential. Only 2% of GDP is spent on R&D, which is the lowest in the region as compared to 4.5% in South Korea. Maritime blindness pervasively impedes research and maritime-related subjects. Absence of a clear legal framework for defense and civilian industrial cooperation hinders private investment. Complex and inconsistent tax policies, cumbersome tax and trade procedures, bureaucratic red tape, weak contractual enforcement, and a general lack of policy consistency accentuates bottlenecks in business environment. There exists a significant gap between skills, education level, and types of jobs available in the labor market and those sought by the workforce. We stand at 168th out of 193 on UNDP Human Development Report, which is a low human development category. Historically, the National Economic and Development Strategy has been fixated on land resources, leading to the continuous neglect of the vast maritime potential. Pakistan's share of global shipbuilding output is negligible. The global market is overwhelmingly dominated by China, South Korea, and Japan, which together accounts to close to 90% of the shipping output. Ladies and gentlemen, these challenges are not insurmountable. They simply indicate for institutional alignment, policy coherence, and a visionary investment. Having said that, every challenge has an opportunity. To avail these opportunities and harness the God-given potential in our country, we need to create dual-use maritime industrial complexes in Pakistan that necessitates a strategic approach to an exclusive, long-term national blue growth policy, which clearly defines goals for both commercial and national security requirements. This would essentially need a regulatory framework that's the rules of business, attracts investment, adopts international standards apart from incentivizing private sector to take lead in joint ventures. For infrastructural development, We need to fast-track integrated maritime industrial complexes at Port Qasim and Gwadar, ensuring robust infrastructure. Investment in shipbuilding, whereby Gwadar shipyard and licensing of private shipyards should be a national priority. Academic institutions should be linked with the defense and commercial production industries through a multifaceted approach involving structured collaboration, joint R&D projects, human resource development, and policy-level initiatives. That is the triple helix model of academia, industry, and government. We should support startups in autonomous vehicles, predictive maintenance, robotics, green propulsion, and contemporary technologies through science and technology parks, incentives such as PMSTP. Creating partnerships and joint ventures with successful models such as STM and Hyundai Heavy Industries to kickstart maritime industrial growth. Ladies and gentlemen, if Pakistan successfully integrates naval modernization, defense production, and blue economy as a synergistic hub industry, this integrated approach would leverage national security needs to drive economic growth, technological innovation, and sustainable use of marine resources. These dividends would draw for shared facility, and supply chains will reduce cost and increase innovation output and generate thousands of direct and indirect jobs. The government of Pakistan has a vision to increase the maritime sector's contribution to national GDP from 0.8% to 4%, with a long-term goal of the blue economy contributing more than 100 billion by year 2047. Defense and commercial shipbuilding exports could collectively and significantly add to this growth. Local production of propulsion systems, composites, and sensors will reduce import dependence. And finally, a robust domestic maritime industrial complex would enhance deterrence, resilience, and sea-based not critical of warships, but of national industry systems, but renewable energy solutions. Let our maritime embody both security and sustainable prosperity. If we succeed, we will also have a fishing trawler, a research vessel, and an offshore platform. This is how nations evolve a maritime participant into a maritime power. And in my reckoning, ladies and gentlemen, is how Pakistan will chart its course towards a self-reliant maritime future, where the sea becomes and prosperity. Thank you very much.
Sir, for shedding light on a very impactful and thought-provoking topic.
Our final speaker for today is Mr. Muhammad Mubashir Hussain, Marketing Manager at Connectic Private Limited. He will address on the topic, Impact of Emerging Technologies in Developing Industries. His presentation time and blue economy sectors.
Really essential for Pakistan's industrial growth. Pakistani industries needs to have efficient production facilities. They must adopt localization and be competitive to survive. During my talk, I will highlight some key emerging technologies in the developing industries and how mark-e-haq, to which I belong, is helping Pakistan industry adopt such technologies. I will now list some key emerging technologies. First one is artificial intelligence and machine learning. They are helping analyze large amount of data generated by industrial sensors that can be used for predicting major faults and optimizing processes to avoid expensive shutdowns. And next is the Internet of Things, or IoT, or Industry 4.0. It provides interconnected sensors, devices, and machines that ensure automated industrial processes, real-time monitoring, and smart manufacturing with minimal human intervention. On number 3 is robotics and automation. It is used for automated manufacturing, quality assurance, and operation in harsh or remote environment. Next is the advanced energy systems, renewable energy, and storage. With industrial power costs being a key challenge for Pakistan, employing energy-efficient machines and power generation using renewable energy resources like solar and wind are really essential. Storing energy is possible, but is expensive. Next comes cybersecurity. In this era, in which major industrial equipment are interconnected through the internet. For real-time remote control, cyber security is essential to avoid cyber attacks. Next come additive manufacturing, 3D printing, and reverse engineering. They are required for local manufacturing of essential spare parts that Pakistan industries require. And finally, space, geospatial, and remote monitoring, where the satellite is required for smart agriculture. That same data can be used for fleet management and providing call and data connectivity at remote locations throughout Pakistan. Now I will highlight the developing industries in Pakistan. Some of them are in the phase of development or some are transforming. First one is manufacturing. Their share in GDP is declining with time. This shows a challenge and opportunity for upgrades. Next is textile and apparel. They are the largest employers and have 60% share in Pakistan export. Next come agriculture and agro-processing. Agri-tech, smart farming, and automatic agro-processing are growing by time. Next come energy and renewables. Given Pakistan's energy constraints and cost pressures, industries are adopting renewable energy sources and energy storage. The distribution company electric are inclined to the use of smart grids. Next comes assembling and usage of EVs is growing in Pakistan, will lead to lesser petroleum imports, inshallah. Next come industrial instrumentation and automation. As industries upgrade, demand for industrial real-time control and monitoring is increasing with time. And finally, maritime, marine, and blue economy. Given primary focus, industries offering maritime, ports, shipbuilding, and offshore infrastructure building services are also developing. Now the main topics, impacts of emerging technologies. And I will give some concrete examples to explain how emerging technologies can impact the developing industries. Number one is manufacturing and textiles. Like I mentioned, IoT or Internet of Things and sensors and automation solutions can reduce downtime, improve yield, and enable predictive maintenance. Agriculture and agro-processing. Data obtained through drones and geospatial data from satellites can help optimize irrigation and save water, which is a very essential commodity for Pakistan. Reduce fertilizer and pesticide usage and ensure optimum crop health. Energy systems. Use of renewable energy resources reduce power costs and smart grids improve grid stability, thereby enabling industrial growth. Automotive and EVs. Energy efficient and locally manufactured BLDC motor drives, power electronic systems, battery system, and their optimum system integration assist the localizing efforts of industries. Reducing dependence on expensive imports. Maritime, marine industries. Digital twins, automation, remote monitoring, and predictive maintenance is made well. Now I will highlight the contribution of ConnectTech, to which I belong. ConnectTech, which is assisting developing industries of Pakistan in adopting the emerging technologies. ConnectTech specializes in developing, co-creating, and commercializing advanced and emerging technologies with a focus on industrial, agriculture, biotechnology, and health sciences. Some major capabilities are instrumentation and control, calibration services, condition monitoring, digital control system design, robotics and automation, 3D printing, and reverse engineering. Services offered include on-site heavy equipment calibration, failure analysis, design and fabrication of industrial plant components, enabling industries to raise quality and reliability locally.
It's 4 p.m.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت سيدنا محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد.
ऐ अल्लाह इस दावत कामिल और ता क़यामत कायम होने वाली नमाज के रब, तू मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को जन्नत में नुमाया मकाम, फजीलत और बुलंद दर्जा अता फरमा और उन्हें उस मकाम महमूद पर फाइज फरमा जिसका तूने उनसे वादा फरमाया है, और क़यामत के दिन हमें उनकी शिफात नसीब फरमा। बेशक तू वादे के खिलाफ नहीं फरमाता।
बदर एक्सपो की तरफ से जो है एक अच्छा हमें प्लेटफॉर्म मिला हुआ है IEEE फेयर का, जिसके अंदर हम लोग अपने डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स को जो शोकेस करते हैं।
बदर एक्सपो ने हमें एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, वो हमें काफ़ी सपोर्ट भी करती है और यहाँ पे डिफरेंट कंपनीज को भी उसने काफ़ी सपोर्ट किया है।
Now tonight at the Pi Gala dinner, we honor the very heart of Pakistan, its vibrant culture, its timeless traditions, and its progressive spirit.
साकू ढोल मनावना है, साकू यार मनावना है, ओ भावे सिर दी बाजी लग जावे, ओ भावे सिर दी बाजी लग जावे। ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो बाला झूले लालन, ओ लाल मेरी हो लाल मेरी पत रखियो बाला झूले लालन, सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सही शहबाज कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, सही शहबाज कलंदर, सही शहबाज कलंदर, वटे दम दम दे
On behalf of Badar Expo Solutions and Pakistan Navy, I thank all of you for being here tonight.
Professor Noor is recognized as one of Pakistan's most accomplished orthopedic surgeons. He has served as President of the Pakistan Orthopedic Association and actively promotes public awareness on bone health and osteoporosis through nationwide programs. Thank you for joining us today. I would now like to introduce our panelists. Dr. Abid Abbas Sheikh is a medical graduate from DUHS with an MBA in marketing from Newport University. His career spans clinical practice, pharmaceutical leadership, and healthcare consulting as the organizing secretary of Healthcare Expo 2025. Next up, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Syed Hussain Askari, Chief Executive Officer of Fatma Jinnah Dental College and Head of the Department of Community Dentistry with an MSc in Dental Public Health from London and a DDD-PH from the Royal College of Surgeons, England. Dr. Askari has played a pivotal role in shaping dental education and public health initiatives in Pakistan. As president of PAMI Sindh and founder of the Academy of Clinical Excellence, he continues to drive innovation in healthcare leadership and education. Up next, I would like to invite Mr. Bilal Amjad, founder and CEO of Instacare. Instacare is a Lahore-based health tech company revolutionizing healthcare delivery in Pakistan. His expertise in telemedicine, AI, and cloud computing has transformed over 3,500 clinics into smart clinics and enabled nationwide remote consultations. His exceptional contributions have earned him 2 presidential awards and the Commonwealth Award, and recognition as Microsoft's most valuable professional since 2016. I would now like to invite Dr. Abdul Salam from Shifa International Hospital, Islamabad, who brings invaluable expertise in remote critical care through telemedicine, helping bridge the gap between patients and advanced medical facilities through technology-driven solutions. And last but not the least, Mr. Akbar Raza, a seasoned health tech and IT professional with over 8 years of experience as head of marketing at DigiTrends. He leads business development, product innovation, and market research across multiple geographies, including Saudi Arabia, Norway, Dubai, and the USA. With a deep focus on digital transformation in healthcare, Mr. Raza is driving impactful solutions that bridge technology and patient-centric innovation across emerging and advanced markets. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much. This is the second Healthcare Expo, and I'm sure the participants of this conference and the organizers have done a wonderful job. After the first Healthcare Expo, this is the second important, and I can see the enthusiastic participation. Starting this session, which is a very important session, and the host has kindly introduced all the moderator. I'm going to ask few questions, and I will give opportunity to the participant. You can raise your hand and you can actually ask a question to one of the panelists. So just a brief introduction. Healthcare delivery is a responsibility of government. That's a basic thing, education and healthcare delivery. Unfortunately, I don't need to tell you that the government, whether provincial government or the federal government, have failed miserably in delivering the basic thing, education and healthcare delivery. And if you look at it, what is their priority? What is the budget allocated to healthcare delivery and agent? And it obviously, if you know the real year, it's very, very moralizing. And even the budget that has been allocated, how much is actually used in health delivery in the hospital and coming to the patient is also a very sad story. So this responsibility is taken by charitable organization and private sectors, and now the AI and telemedicine taking the responsibility of providing healthcare to the remote area of different cities and of Pakistan. For you sitting here, the important pillars of healthcare delivery are human resource, whether it be a doctor, whether it be a nurse, whether it be a paramedical or a physiotherapist. All of them play an extremely important role. Number 2 is infrastructure. It could be in the form of clinic, it could be in the form of ICU, operation theater, wards. The third important pillar is pharmaceutical. That yes, you have made a diagnosis, you know what is the problem, whether it be a malaria, whether it be diabetes or hypertension. You need to give treatment, and if pharmaceutical ingredients are not available, accessible to the patient, then this exercise of making diagnosis will be futile. The fourth important pillar is medical device. And according to WHO, there are 2 million medical devices. So if any of the 4 pillars are absent, healthcare delivery is almost impossible. But then infrastructure is not there. How? And this session comes to play that infrastructure is deficient. And to improve to international standard, it will take ages, and we cannot wait for ages for infrastructure to be developed. How can we provide acute emergency care? And this is what this session is all about. So, I'll start my question with the doctor on the panel, Dr. Abdul Salam sir. Dr. Abdul Salam, you've graduated from Dow Medical College. You've had the privilege of doing internal medicine from USA and then a board for emergency medicine. And he decided to come back to Pakistan. And the skill that he has learned there, he's implemented it by joining Shifa International Hospital, developing the accident and emergency department, getting it recognized by the College of Physician and Surgeon, and then promoting this concept across Pakistan, whether it be in trauma center or Aga Khan University Hospital, Liaquat National Hospital. We were just talking to you that chest pain, when a patient comes have a chest pain, it is very important that he comes to a center and a diagnosis is made, whether it is a heart attack or it's gastritis, because the prognosis of both of them are entirely different. Another aspect, Dr. Abdul Salam, is stroke, जो फालिज कहते हैं. And early diagnosis is very important. And there are many reasons for strokes, and the treatment is entirely different. Dr. Abdul Salam, tell us about the management and diagnosis and what role you have played in this.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. And I'm very glad to be here and talking about telemedicine, which is one of the areas that is developing in Pakistan. And when we, in the COVID era, we realized the real importance of telemedicine. And I will give you a couple of messages that are very, very important. As Dr. Shahid Noor is one of my senior from Dow and a very revered physician. So plenty of people are inspired by his work. But let me tell you more about telemedicine in just a few minutes. I'll give you a couple of scenarios. One of them is explained by him. A chest pain patient comes to the emergency department. It could be any time of the day, maybe 2 o'clock at night. And one of the junior doctors is working over there, and probably he has never seen a chest pain patient like that before. This is the usual story of Pakistan, and that was the reason that we have asked the CPSP to have emergency medicine as a discipline for training. So this physician at 2 o'clock in the morning, what kind of resources he can gather at that point in time? So the telemedicine helps at that point in time. He can call his senior, who may be like sleeping at his home comfortably, and all he has to do is open up his device, look at the ECG and tell him what is next to be done. And if this patient needs to go to the cath lab, at least those 15, 20, 30 minutes that this physician will take coming from home to the hospital will be saved. This patient will be prepared for the cath lab, and the doctor will arrive on time. This is one of the aspects of telemedicine. So the distance should not be the deciding factor of the fate for that particular patient. The same thing goes for the stroke patients. If the patient is having a paralysis or a stroke, and if he happens to come to the hospital where maybe it's in the middle of the night, or maybe the neurologist has just gone home. Now, how are they going to make the decision about the TPA or things like that that can save this patient's life? That will again, telemedicine will come. So these two instances that I just gave to you would show that the telemedicine has a greater role. And I'm talking about the cities. I'm talking about the cities. And that's the second message. Telemedicine will make the healthcare cost effective. Although it may seem contrary that you're spending too much money on equipments and on other things, but I'm saying it will make the things cost effective. And the reason for that is that the decisions that would be made by the telemedicine physician somewhere in the distance will save the patient's life. And so it's not going to cost a lot of money through disability or other things, or maybe the patient's dying because of the decision not made in time. So that time saved will be the financial gain for the patient, for the institution, for the country. So this is why I think telemedicine would be a real money saver, patient life saver, and a lot of other things. I would stop over here. I have a lot of other things to do, but to answer your question, that's the thing that we have to work with.
Thank you. Thank you. There are audience. You know what are early symptom of stroke? Anybody who knows can give me one symptom, raise your hand. आप खड़ी हो जाएं please और जोर से बोलें. Where? स्ट्रोक तो फालिज की बात कर रहे हैं ना. स्ट्रोक नहीं, स्ट्रोक है फालिज. ठीक है. So early diagnosis is very important. Suspicion is very important. ठीक है ना. Let's move to another panelist, and a very popular panelist. My question will be addressed to Professor Raza Askari, and he is very popular among, Dr. Hussain Askari. Dr. Hussain, please let us know, how can AI ethically integrate into clinical decision making without undermining the clinical autonomy of patient and trust? So how can AI be used ethically, integrating into clinical practice, decision making, without undermining clinical autonomy or patient trust?
Patient trust, right. Thank you very much. So this is a very interesting question, and this is a burning issue across the globe. As you know, that AI has taken over the world with a big bang, and it's the buzzword for any industry. However, with this kind of surgence of any technology, especially AI, which is $1 trillion industry, there is a lot of questions, a lot of skeptical people who are asking some difficult question. And this is one of those difficult questions, that when we are implementing AI, will the ethical practices be maintained? The trust of the patient and the doctor relationship, how will that be ensured? And there are some other concerns about the data, which is part of some ethical treatment, that data has become valuable. Just simple data like which patient has what disease and what is the number of the disease and which area has which type of a drug selling in the market. This data has now become valuable. This is the new gold. Data is the new gold. So how can we actually protect our system from this, and how can we ensure ethical practices? So I think it is about time that the doctors wake up and they come out of the shell. They should stop thinking that AI is going to replace our jobs. That is not going to happen. The sooner you embrace AI, you understand its role, the sooner you will come up with policies and protocols, and you will address the ethical issues first. So you have to become, I mean by you, that the doctors and the regulators have to become the people calling the shots. The shots in AI, especially related to healthcare, should not be called by the tech companies. It is the doctors and the dental or the medical fraternity that has to decide what to be implemented, what not to be implemented, what is ethical, where to stop, where not to stop. So these are the things that we need to wake up to, and we have to realize internationally a lot of laws, new regulation, new laws are coming up. If we talk about Pakistan, like your opening statement was the health budget. So let me tell you that the GDP, and there is some youngsters here. GDP is what your country earns on a total, the total figure of the income of your country. So only 0.8 to 0.9% of the GDP of Pakistan is spent on health, not spent, allocated. If you compare that to the US, it is 17%. If you compare it with UK or most European countries, it is somewhere between 15 to 12% of the GDP. Even a country like Bangladesh has a bigger health budget than Pakistan. So first we have to fix the core issues. How will we train so many doctors who will be well versed and then come to the level where they are actually deciding policies and protocols of how AI should be implemented, right? And I think AI, on the positive side, it has given Pakistan a second chance. ठीक है, पहला chance तो हमने सर खो दिया. जो आपने कहा कि what we have done, we have failed. If the government has failed, that means the people, the population, the voters have also failed. हमने आज जो यहाँ पर बच्चे बैठे हुए इनको हमने क्या दिया है? टूटी हुई सड़कें दी हैं, इंटरनेट कनेक्शन नहीं है. गाँव के तो छोड़ दें, कराची में भी जो ऑनलाइन लेक्चर लेते हैं वो प्रॉपरली नहीं कंडक्ट हो पाती हैं. तो हमने इनको क्या दिया है? ठीक है, नाउ द AI, क्योंकि once you are online, the technology that is available, the app that is available in the US and the UK is also available in Pakistan. हर गांव में अगर आपके पास इंटरनेट है तो आपको सेम टेक्नोलॉजी मिल रही है. आज आप क्या डिसीजन लेते हैं, इनको किस तरह ट्रेन करते हैं, ये जितना बड़ा ये एक्सपो हॉल है इसमें रोजाना 2000 बच्चे आना चाहिए, उनकी AI पे ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए. तब आपकी कैपेसिटी बिल्ड होगी, आप एक लेवल पे होंगे जहां आपकी लोग बात सुनेंगे, आप डिसीजन लेने के काबिल होंगे. And this is my message also, and this is my appeal to the people who are here, that at least take AI as a second chance and utilize it well. हमारे ये सारे मसले हल हो सकते हैं AI के through. AI is giving solutions which are cost effective. So this is my message, and sir, ethical issues can be addressed, but we have to become first of all educated, and we have to take the actions, and these problems can be addressed in time.
Thank you, Dr. Hussain Askari. So, AI is going to stay, and maybe robotic are going to take over as well. But without human support and guidance, healthcare delivery is not possible. So, I will move on forward, and I'll now communicate with Bilal. Bilal Amjad, you have been instrumental. You are a CEO of Instacare, and you have transformed 3,500 clinic into smart clinic. So tell us that these are established clinic. How can your service and the telemedicine platform be adapted for severe rural and underserved communities without compromising clinical standard and patient safety?
Yeah, so thank you so much, and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Bilal Amjad, founder and CEO of Instacare. So before answering your question, I would like to elaborate what Instacare does. So हम लोगों ने healthcare information systems का एक पूरा ecosystem develop किया हुआ है, जो कि pharmacies में भी चलते हैं हमारे solutions, labs में भी, उसके अलावा हॉस्पिटल्स, डॉक्टर्स और जो हेल्थ केयर इकोसिस्टम के प्लेयर्स बनते हैं. हमारा विजन है कि हम इंफॉर्मेशन मैनेजमेंट में उनको सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड कर सकें. एंड सर, आई वुड से कि पाकिस्तान बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कंट्री है. सो हमेशा हर टफ टाइम में इस कंट्री ने रेजिलियंस शो की है, चाहे वो क्रिकेट मैचेस हों, चाहे वो इकोनॉमी हो, चाहे वो हमारे किसी भी किस्म के क्राइसिस हो, ये प्राइवेट सेक्टर उसको कभी नीचे नहीं आने देता. एंड सेम गोज फॉर टुडे नाउ कि अगर हमें पब्लिक सेक्टर्स में, मैं आई टोटली अंडरस्टैंड एंड फील योर पेन कि जो हमारे बजट्स कट डाउन हो रहे हैं हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर के, वो इन्वेस्ट करने के अब काबिल नहीं हैं कि वो टेक्नोलॉजी में इन्वेस्ट कर सकें, टेक्नोलॉजी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स में इन्वेस्ट करें. ऐसे में भी प्राइवेट सेक्टर ने ऐसे ज़बरदस्त कमाल अफोर्डेबल सोल्यूशंस निकाल दी हैं कि देख के प्राउड फील करते हैं हम लोग। एंड हमेशा मेरी दुआ है कि मैं हमेशा अपनी टॉक्स में कहता हूँ कि खुदा करे मेरी अर्ज़ पाक पे वो उतरे वो फसले गुल जिसे अंदेशा ज़वाल ना हो, यहाँ जो फूल खिले वो खिला रहे सदियों, यहाँ ख़ज़ां को गुजरने की मजाल ना हो। एंड इंशाल्लाह दिस यंग जनरेशन विल डेफिनेटली डू वंडर्स इन द कमिंग टाइम। डॉक्टर हसन साहब बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे थे कि AI के पास बहुत से सोल्यूशन हैं। सर जिस तरह टेलीमेडिसिन की बात कर रहे थे, और यही वो चीज़ है जो मुझे और भी ज़्यादा इस कैटेगरी में काम करने में इंस्पायर करती है कि आई एम अ टेक्निकल CEO, ग्रेजुएटेड एज अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर लाइक 15 years ago, और आई जम्प्ड इनटू अ हेल्थ केयर इंडस्ट्री जो कि डॉक्टर्स की इंडस्ट्री कंसीडर की जाती थी। वहाँ पर एक इंजीनियर एंटर हो रहा है। ऐसे ही एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की इंडस्ट्री है जहाँ पर ये टेक के लोग समझते हैं हमारी इंडस्ट्री है, बट इसमें डॉक्टर्स एंटर हो रहे हैं। सो सी द ब्लेंड कि अब जिन्होंने टेक्नोलॉजी इंप्लीमेंट करनी है, टेक्नोलॉजी इज इन द राइट हैंड, उसके अलावा जिन्होंने एग्जीक्यूट करनी है, अब वो ब्रिज भी बन चुका है क्योंकि इंजीनियर्स वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस इंडस्ट्री एंड डेवलप द सॉल्यूशंस। सो जो मेरी जर्नी थी, जो सर आपके पास स्टैट्स आ रहे हैं 3500 क्लिनिक्स को डिजिटलाइज करने में। एज ऑफ नाउ वी हैव डिजिटलाइज मोर देन 5000 हेल्थ केयर सेटअप्स अक्रॉस पाकिस्तान एंड बियॉन्ड। टेलीमेडिसिन का रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहा है। आई स्टिल रिमेंबर 2017 के अंदर आई वॉज द वन जो टेलीमेडिसिन को पिच करता था, और मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल्स मुझे समझाने की कोशिश करते थे कि दिस इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज हम लोगों को फिजिकल एग्जामिनेशंस की ज़रूरत होती है, और वो टेलीमेडिसिन के थ्रू पॉसिबल नहीं था। कोविड ने हमें बहुत सारे ऐसे लेसन्स दिए जिसने इम्पॉसिबल को भी पॉसिबल कर दिया। सो अब टेलीमेडिसिन एक टॉक ऑफ द टाउन नहीं है सिर्फ, बट उसको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के केस में भी हम देख सकते हैं। शिफा इंटरनेशनल ने आई थिंक ई-शिफा लॉन्च किया था। इट वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट टेलीमेडिसिन इनिशिएटिव। हमने कोविड के दौरान फार्मा कंपनीज, हॉस्पिटल्स, लैब्स के लिए टेलीमेडिसिन एनेबल की थी, जिन्होंने जो हेल्थ केयर डिलीवरी थी उसको कंटिन्यूटी प्रोवाइड की। और अभी जहाँ तक बात रह जाती है कि हमारे जो फार फ्लंग एरियाज़ हैं या जहाँ पर टेक्नोलॉजी का जो है वो रसाई नहीं है, वो स्टिल अभी इस कंट्री के लिए एक चैलेंज है। अगर हम बात करें विलेजेस की, तो इट्स नॉट अबाउट के टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सेसिबल है, इट्स अबाउट के वहाँ पर ट्रेनिंग कितनी है आपकी। और फिर जो हमारे कुछ इश्यूज इस तरह के हैं कि जो पाकिस्तान की जो पॉपुलेशन, अगर उसकी आप डिवीजन देखें तो मोस्टली हमारी जो पॉपुलेशन है वो रूरल एरियाज़ में है, और जो हमारी अर्बन एरियाज़ हैं उनकी पॉपुलेशन थोड़ी कम है। बट अगर हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम्स को अंडरस्टैंड करें तो जो हेल्थ केयर रिलेटेड प्रोफेशनल्स हैं दे आर मोस्टली इन द डेवलप्ड सिटीज़, और वो रूरल एरियाज़ में नहीं है। सो दिस मेक्स एक थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है कि इसमें डिवीजन में डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन थोड़ी मुश्किल इस वजह से भी आती है कि उन एरियाज़ में टेक्नोलॉजी को इम्प्लीमेंट करने वाले लोग अभी कम हैं। एंड आई थिंक कि अब अगर हम ट्रेनिंग करें नर्सेस की, पैरामेडिक्स की, तो टेलीमेडिसिन की रसाई और भी आसान बन सकती है। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हो या आपकी टेलीमेडिसिन, हेल्थ केयर एक्सेसिबिलिटी रिलेटेड टेक्नोलॉजीज हो, वो तब तक अपना पूरा पोटेंशियल नहीं शो कर सकती जब तक उसकी एक्सेप्टेंस जो है वो अक्रॉस द कंट्री नहीं होगी। एंड आई थिंक इसमें एक बहुत की स्टेप्स आ जाते हैं जो कि मुझे लगता है गवर्नमेंट कुछ ना कुछ करना चाह रही है, जिसमें फेडरल IT मिनिस्टर ने कुछ भी जो डिजिटल डिवाइजेशन पोर्टल बनाया गया। नाउ द थिंग दैट वी ऑल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज कि ये पोर्टल्स या ये वन नेशन वन ID आपके ई में किस तरह इंटीग्रेट है, जो एक कंप्यूटर में किस पहुंचा वो पेशेंट के लिए कितना है। सो आई थिंक कि हम लोगों को हेल्थ केयर को एक्सेल इन फंडामेंटल है मेडिकल आशा का देखना। सो आई थिंक इज थ्री दैट डेवलप सेक्टर कंपनीज।
Thank you. I will now concentrate on Akbar Raza, electronic medical record and data privacy. ठीक है ना, and institutional and national boundaries. So एक board है कि हम data privacy को भी कैसे हम control करें, and availability record, whether for example I'm crying and I'm Lahore and my record, मुझे बताइए कैसे data privacy manage कर सकें and operatively भी कर सकें, इसकी access भी हो and maybe international access भी हो सके।
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Noor. So myself is Akbar Raza. I'm the head of at DigiTrends, which is an IT company mainly working for over 10 years now. I'd like to start off by continuing to what Mr. Hussain has mentioned regarding AI. So just to be clear, AI is ChatGPT, and it's the revolution that is coming, which will be possible for everyone. हम बात करते हैं has very backward minded, redundancy नहीं है, data privacy नहीं होती, compliance नहीं है, but health tech is one segment that is the most compliant of all the industries that are operating in Pakistan. And with respect to AI, this is for governance and AI compliance. Different jobs related. So उसको utilize कर जो है use data make compliant that available actions in order to meet the gaps that are already there. Data को use हम AI से, everybody knows AI can work without the data, and the privacy is one issue that's very much talked about the West as well. उसको कैसे कर सकते हैं? मेडिकल डिवाइसेस को यूज करें हम, AI के जो डेटा है, जितना भी पेशेंट्स का डेटा है, हमको डिवाइसेस तक ही महदूद करें. हम कंप्लायंसेस और ऐसी एक्शंस बना लें जाके आपके जो डेटा प्राइवेसी ब्रीच है उसको मिनिमाइज कर सकें. और क्योंकि डेटा के बगैर AI ऑवर नहीं करेगा, एंड AI इज द नेक्स्ट रेवोल्यूशन. तो हमें इसी को लेके चलना है, एंड वी हैव टू बी प्रोग्रेसिव अबाउट इट, अदरवाइज वी विल बी बिहाइंड. जैसे हम कोविड के पीछे रह गए, तो उन चीज कोविड की हेल्थ मोटिवेशन रिलेटेड के ऊपर काफी फेस दैट. सो आई थिंक फ्रॉम माय रिक्वेस्ट एंड सजेस्ट के हमारे जो जैसे डॉक्टर जैसे लोग हैं, बिलाल जैसे लोग हैं, दे शुड कम इनटू डिफरेंट रोल्स एंड ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कंप्लायंसेस एंड वी कैन इम्प्लीमेंट एज वन नेशन पाकिस्तान क्या रिजल्ट्स निकल आ सकते हैं. थैंक यू.
Doctor, you work in one of the top trauma centers in Pakistan, and there's a lot of burden in trauma center. Primary healthcare, primary minor institution or own by thing, and most company might get neglected. Do you think that tele can be involved or implement in trauma center?
Definitely. I am really very kind बुलाया जिस वक्त आपको सिर्फ याद I know and this is actually your love for subject. So first thing, second thing is कि once again I marvel your सामान्य शिफा फाउंडेशन जिसका आपने जिक्र नहीं किया. हर गुफ्तगू शुरू करने से पहले उसका जिक्र करना बड़ा जरूरी है, क्योंकि such a wonderful initiative and organizations bring wonders. हमारे यहाँ हेल्थ डिवाइसेस हैं जो ज्यादातर इम्पोर्ट होती हैं, नॉट रेवेन्यू कर होते हैं, उनको मामूली जो कि गुजर गए तक नहीं पाकिस्तान को तकलीफ हुए, मगर हमने इस चीज के ऊपर काम नहीं किया कि इस हेल्थ डिवाइसेस को यहाँ पर मैन्युफैक्चर कर ना सिर्फ कॉस्ट तो शिफा अंदर बहुत सारे लाइक माइंडेड लोग इनके साथ शामिल हैं, और नियत अच्छी हो तो कुदरत जो है चलेगा. और बारे में जरूर बात करें, लोगों को चाहिए कि काम इस तरीके से कहाँ हो रहा है वो